Whoa, talk about perfect timing. As if I had planned it, which I didn't. Hey guys, welcome to another week of, what do we call the show? I rarely say it, I do write it. Replay, right, it's replay, there we go. Where we analyze video gameplay, or rather video game design live, and we try to learn from it. How has everyone been? It's been a pretty wild week for me. So who do we have here? Yes. I don't know how to pronounce your name. AI's Bagus. Hey, welcome. Thanks for dropping by. Fippy is here. Awesome. Mirosi, no problem. Though, I wish... Sure, uranium mines. Sounds dangerous. Ayanosaur, hey, thank you for dropping by. Standard Comrade, hey, hey. I hope you're all doing fantastic. Kelly-kun is also here. I'm having... Muju. Oh, it is the legendary Toasty Mush. The one and only other toast I will allow to exist on Twitch. I know there is more, I think, but in my world, these are the only ones that count, okay? Wow, another week went by so quickly. Before I forget, I have our patch notes, our weekly ones, right? So, first off, I changed the XP gain for subs and followers, right? Because we have XP points, which is like a fun little Hogwarts-style point system, with no real purpose other than to allow me to reward you small people with virtual currency that isn't worth jack shit. But you know, it's all fun and games. So that's, you know, subscribers and followers shouldn't have a advantage there anymore. 'Cause that's not really what the system is about. We also have new emotes again. We have a new fantastic emote, which is a bit emote, I think. Where do we have it? Can someone post it? Why is it not? Let me go. Where are my own? Why can't I post my own freaking emojis in the chat? I'm struggling with Twitch. Or is Twitch struggling with me? I don't know. There we go. Crazy Kitty posted it. It is the toasted. It is the toasted emote. The one that so many of you have been asking for. And I love it. I love it. I feel there's a certain relevance of this emote for today's game, that being Bloodborne. So we'll see. We'll see. As always, I'm keeping the skill point reward for unlocking a random sub emote really cheap. It's only 100 skill points, the points you get from watching. So feel free to spam it, I suppose, to unlock emotes so you can just, you know, have fun. Because they're really, really well made. They have been made by Kelly-kun so far, one of my moderators who's been doing an amazing job at them. I really love them. And Mirosi, no, this is we upgraded. You know, get on the level. The Bloodborne music is too loud. Yeah, I figured. Last thing, we have a subscriber badges. They're the first iteration. We'll get more. We'll improve on them, but I really love them so far, and they have been made by Crazy Kitty, one of my moderators as well, and I really love them. So you can now get slices of toast, not toasted, but progressively more toasted as subscribers. So if you look at research, for example, hello, by the way, good friend, England versus Germany, I'm sorry, nothing to be sorry about, nothing to be sorry about. It hurt, but, you know, is something we have to accept. So, yeah, you can see there that they have the badge. For some weird reason, I have the second level already. So if I write into the chat, you can see how it's slightly more toasted. And the third one is burned. And then we'll see how it goes from there. All right, so I see, you know, constant tiny miniature improvements week to week. We're trying to do it. Yeah, and again, expect more from that front as time progresses. Then my biggest update, which is the one that allows us to play the game that we're playing today, is that I finally got a capture card. And now we can play console games, which unlocks not only the amazing opportunity for me to play Bloodborne, right, and all these other console games, but also I realized that it unlocks the treasure trove that is Nintendo games. And there's a shit ton of stuff that we can learn from those, right? I'm thinking Mario, I'm thinking Zelda, right? And all these other fantastic games that I really, really like. And I'm looking forward to taking a look at those in the future. Yeah, and I hope so do you. I'm super excited about it. I actually am happy that I got this to run. If the audio is still not, you know, where it should be, that's okay. I saw the poster check. Let me finish my thought here real quick. If the audio isn't quite there yet, right, that's part of us setting this up live. So let's see where we can take it. If you know, any complaints, feedback, just post it here and we'll see that we adjust the audio levels, for example. So I think that is it for this week's patch notes. Our friend Klashenkov initiated a poster check, so everyone, make sure you're sitting up straight, you're sitting up proper. I hope you also got yourself something to drink, maybe some water, maybe just regular tap water, or I made myself some because I was really craving it. It's kind of late in the day, it's already 8, but iced coffee it is today for me. Double espresso shot, some cold water, milk, ice, perfect. Will I ever save enough points to do hard mode on Dark Souls or Bloodborne? You would be wise to pick that word you pick really, really wisely. It's intentionally expensive, of course, because this is a channel about me talking about things. So preventing me from talking about things is literally in the way of it. Yet I thought it might be hilarious, so I'll keep it in there for those of you dedicated enough. Yeah, so I've been doing great. This has been a fantastic week, except for that my fridge finally broke. It's a super old fridge and I had to get a new one, but I'm loving the new one. It's bigger than the former fridge, so fridge is an upgrade as well, not only the capture card. Now I need to save big time for the rest of the year so I can afford anything. But hey, we got a new fridge and I love it. I love it. I don't think, you know, I've gotten to the age in life where I can appreciate getting a new fridge. That's just me. Like I've been giddy for the last week, just having a new fridge, and I've been really excited to play Bloodborne, which is the game we're taking a look at today. And look at that transition, smooth as fuck. I think I've sort of managed this whole moderation thing. Got to a new level and I ruined it by going off a tangent, so take note here. Either way, so Bloodborne, one of my favorite games of all time. I had to start it a couple of times before I actually started liking it, and then I fell in love with it hard. And I will say I think the bulk of it I played when I had an extended sick leave due to like, what is it called, like esophagitis. It was like a throat infection that I had to deal with antibiotics, but it put me to bed for 2 weeks. 2 weeks of just sitting around playing Bloodborne, essentially. It was quite a silver lining there. So anyway, I played it a ton. I really love it. I haven't played it in a long time. It's not like I have replayed it recently, so I don't expect to be all pro today, but I do feel like I'm better at it than in Bloodborne, than Dark Souls last week, so hopefully I won't eat my words. How satisfying was it taking the plastic off of the bridge, Miles? Danya, by the way, welcome to the stream. Thanks for dropping by all the time. I really appreciate it. And very, very, it was very satisfying. I'm actually, at that point, I'm upset that the Elgato capture card I'm having didn't have any foil to pull off, you know. That's like economic, probably, right? Like it's good for the environment, but nothing beats the satisfaction of ripping off any foil or of a new phone, for example. It doesn't have 2 doors. I wish I could go there, but the apartment I'm in right now, you know, the kitchen, I can't afford the real estate space that is required to have a fridge with 2 doors. Although I would love to have one simply because the second favorite thing, or rather the third favorite thing I do besides making games and playing games, is cooking. And that's where also a lot of my resources go. So into cooking equipment. Sadly, yeah, as Toasty Mush, as you say, small kitchens don't lend themselves, but they make you more creative. It's like in game development, when you have confinements, you know, be it story requirements or whatever, right? Or even gameplay limitations, technological limitations, right? They make you creative to actually, you know, find the best solutions. And oftentimes I think, you know, they are the environment that foster better solutions and better ideas, as opposed to just complete freedom and having the ability to do everything. Cooking equipment for eating frozen pizza. God damn it, dummy. Dummy. It hurts. It burns. I don't only eat frozen pizza. Oh, what's your favorite thing to cook? Zoidy is asking. Oh, that's so many things. I really love a good pasta dish. I really love making pastas and pasta sauces. I think the versatility is great. I really am a big fan of making steaks. I got that down to a science. So that is a thing. And I'm a big ramen enthusiast, being easily probably my favorite food. Which isn't cool anymore to say. There used to be a time where I was the hipster, right? I ate ramen way before everyone thought it was a cool thing. Back then when Naruto was just starting out to eat ramen. And yeah, I love cooking it, all right? Carbonara is my favorite. Yeah, good carbonara. I love, you know, that's what I love so much about pasta. There's a very beautiful simplicity about it. Like, you don't need many ingredients. Just like, you know, some nice ham, some nice eggs, some cheese, and you can make an amazing pasta dish. Do you like pineapple pizza? All right. Okay. This is more difficult questions than playing Bloodborne is. Pineapple pizza. So I've been making a lot of jokes about that in the past, but between you and me here, just between us, you know, this small group of very elite, very fine, very perfect people, I don't really mind it. I don't care. Like, you do you. I actually am a big fan of sweet and savory flavor combinations, right? Like salted caramel, for example. And I do think there's certain dishes that work. Pineapple pizza isn't my favorite pizza. It's not the one that I would ever order. Because simply I think there's better pizzas out there. I think it can stay. It's okay. If you like fruit on your pizza, you do you. You know, that's fine. Just don't stuff it in my face. No, I'll eat it. I actually eat it if you give it to me. Screw you, I'll eat your pizza. Yeah, but you know, Sarah's tuna and pineapple pizza, let's not talk about that. Simar, let's not talk about it. I like to make proper tonkotsu ramen, but bones here in Finland are really expensive. Yeah, and they're also getting the right bones and everything is quite difficult. Funnily enough, they're really cheap here in Germany, where I'm at right now, and also in Poland. But getting the good ones, like a nice femur bone for, you know, cooking tonkotsu ramen, is more difficult. You can get like just, you know, whatever leftover bones they have, but it's not the same. It's not the same. Oh, Danya. Yeah, so you have access to all of the awesome Asian ingredients easily. Also, the more exotic cuts and stuff. That's awesome. That's awesome. I love cooking Asian cuisine. It's actually the food that I grew up with the most, given that my mom is actually from the Philippines. So yeah, that's lots of awesome food from there. And besides, both my parents are really good cooks. They love cooking. So I guess that's where it must have come from. For me, anyway. Said it can only stay here for a tiny while, but I do hope Bloodborne is fun. Haven't got to play it yet, thanks to my PS4. Thanks, Toasty Much. I really, really appreciate it. I also really appreciate you dropping by. Having said that, here, Toasty Much, if you haven't checked out his channel, it's fucking awesome. If you've ever wanted to see a slice of bread tackle on games like Dark Souls, or even less, you know, like known about games, you'll be very entertaining while, you know, at it. Go for it. I wholly recommend you to drop by, leave a follow, and check it out. It's hilarious. Also, the Toast's animations are so endearing to watch. I love it. And again, man, thank you for dropping by. I really appreciate it. All right, okay. Salted caramel is perfect. Yes, it is. Let's see what else. I'm Maldivian, but I'm currently in Malaysia. Philippines is quite close. Yeah, actually, that is true. All of it, I suppose. Maldivian, wow. Man, I would love to go to to the. How do you even say it in English? I only know the German name for it. I would love to go there. Sunny, it's nice. I mean, it's also sunny and hot here, but, you know, it's still difficult. All right, okay, how about we go play some Bloodborne? And the reason why I wanted to take a look at this game today is, of course, there's multiple, right? Last week we decided that, or you decided that you wanted to look at another From Software game instead of continuing my horrible playthrough of Dark Souls 3, which is absolutely fine. I'm actually quite happy about it. And we're doing that. We're doing that, right? And the other one, why I picked Bloodborne over, say, Sekiro, for example, is because it is our 10th anniversary, right? It is the 10th episode of Replay. 10 weeks ago, we started this whole journey into becoming better game designers, level designers, and learning about how games are made, the crazy and insane thoughts and complex thoughts that go into making your favorite entertainment media. Am I right? And so that's why, you know, it needed for me to be a special game, and Bloodborne is very special. It has a very close place to my heart, so I feel like it is a perfect fit. Yeah, and design-wise, you know, it is the game where I think From Software's philosophy of sort of using gameplay mechanics to foster the game's atmosphere holds especially true in a game that is supposed to be somewhat scary, right? It has this much more than Dark Souls, I think. Bloodborne edges much more on this horror atmosphere, and I think that their game design ideas and philosophies really help here to amplify that feeling, and we'll take a look at how they do it just now. So for that, which one out of those 10 was your favorite? Oh, I need to think about that a bit, Simar. That is a really good question. Maybe let's get back to that on the Q&A at the end of the stream. That's really good. I really enjoyed the Portal episode, but I'm not sure if it was my favorite one. But I think the Portal one was really, like, there was a lot to unravel there, and I think we did. Okay, let's not watch this again. Let's play offline, so we don't have any people messing with our save. And let's go. Can you all hear the game? Please also let me know if the game is too quiet or too loud. You know, the real sad thing about Bloodborne is that it's PS exclusive.
Well, you've come to the right place.
Yeah, I think more people should be able to play it. I wish it was on PC, actually. 60 FPS Bloodborne would be fucking amazing. Yarnum, we meet again. Yes. I should probably start the recording. There we go. Oh, I was... Yeah. Okay, alright. Character creation. Okay, we will... So, name the character. Name the character, guys. You know how it works. So I will take the fourth suggestion for a name. Tancho, hey, welcome to the stream. I hope you're doing well. Fourth suggestion for the character, Günther. Jürgen. It's Jürgen. All right, it's Jürgen. There we go. Can I even do the... does it allow me? No, because I've switched it to English. So it must be with UE. Because that's how, you know, you can sort of bypass the umlaut. So it's Jürgen. No, it's the German version. It's not the Swedish or whatever version that is. Jürgen it is. Okay, and it's also not the Austrian version. Sorry, Fippy. Okay, so what do we do? Do we reset certain changes? I really want to play a female hunter today. Age, whatever. Origin. I don't know. Can someone... okay, so sixth suggestion for the origin we will pick. So please... I don't even know how to say that, Mirosi. 1, 2... Come on. 3, 4, 5, 6. I said 6, right? I think I said 6. Waste of skin. Motherfuckers. Oh, I hate you so much. That was so clear. Oh, of course it had to happen. You guys like to see me suffer. Okay, you know, I'm here to give you knowledge, to find knowledge about how games are made, and I'm gonna give you knowledge, even if these difficulties are against me, right? That clearly. All right, let's not meddle with the looks too much, because I'll spend 5 days doing this, and we can't do it with the choice system we have right now. I see Speed Girl is being entertained by this as well. glad you're happy. Glad you're happy, guys. Okay, how can I just continue? Ah, no. No, I just want to continue. What was the... Am I... Ah, right. I pressed the appearance button. I'm just... Oh, sorry. Okay, so we are playing Jürgen, a female hunter who is very young and considered a waste of skin. Talk about a harsh background, but hey. Here we go. Finalized contract. Tough luck. Well, yeah. I had told you, making games isn't easy. Why should playing them be? By the way, I have a note from last time that I wanted to talk this stream about my story about my level design test when when CDPR, or I applied at CDPR. Let's do that at the end of the stream. Let's do that. It's a funny story, I think. First, we need to do, you know, our diligence. How do you say first work, then pleasure, right? How's the volume, by the way? That was one of the best quotes I've ever heard. Work hard, play hard. Exactly. Too quiet? I think so, right? Yeah. So I'll keep on talking, and we'll just have the game do its audio thing. Is it okay now? Is it okay now? Ooh, it could be a little louder. Crank it up a bit. I did. By the way, can I say that you find people with your badges, you are handsome devils. You are handsome devils. You are the prettiest people I've ever seen. Look at that little toast icon.
You
Fucking
found
amazing.
yourself a hunter.
Louder even. But that's as loud as it was before. Maybe the intro is just very loud. Okay, let's just do it like this. If you find it too loud, let me know. Cool. Okay. All right. All right. We're recording. We're recording. We're recording. And go here. Okay. Here we go. Oh, it feels good to be back. Whew. I'm very excited about this. All right. This, yes. Yes, yes. Okay. Good. No gun yet. Okay. All right. All right. All right. Guys, this is the tutorial, right? Yeah. Attack. That's how From Software used to do tutorials. They've done better in Sekiro, by the way. That's the first game where they really figured, yeah, maybe let's have something that's a bit more than just this. And they did. Yeah. Okay. All right, let's do this. So, this is interesting. I will now sneak into this because this is always a fun moment, of course, right? This guy is an enemy that the player is supposed to die against. He's really, really tough. However, because we're here having fun, right? Who thinks can I do it? Yes? No? Lol, no. Alright. I'm curious to see how much support I have. It's a trap. Lol, no. Ah, you guys. You hate me. The brightness in the game is a bit low. I think it's supposed to be very dark, but if you are inclined, I can make it a bit brighter for you guys. Look. I just decided the man is visible and the beast is invisible. Actually, it should be darker. But we'll make it a bit brighter for you guys. Look. Oh man, this did not go out well for me. All right, I feel you guys. All right, I need to prove you wrong. Okay, it's gamer mode now. Ooh, okay. All right, first time trying this after like 2 years or so. I don't know when was the last time that I played this, but screw you guys. You 65% who voted against me. And it's more because that's lol no, right? Okay. All right. Okay. Cool. Let's do this. You can't actually sneak up on them, I think. Because he's triggered. Yeah, when you go close, he... Oops. Oops. Bad start. Oh. Okay. No! What? That's... Oh, it's the pressure on this stream. I swear to God, I will kill this guy. This is incredible. No. No. This is like the frickin' last time when I did the Dark Souls one. Where I did the first boss, first try in my rehearsal, right? This time, I did a rehearsal. I fucked this guy up and I'm like, okay, fine. And then what? Like, I do it live and of course, for the sake of entertainment, I die. I hate this game. Lol, no indeed. Okay. Alright, it's fine. This was intended to happen. Yes, it's the doll. She doesn't do anything. That's okay. But I get to walk around and I get my first weapon as the player. So I will now pick the saw cleaver just because it's the stereotypical one. Fuck this game. What else? Yes, notebook. Very good. Okay, so I can't really do much here. This is just to get the player up to speed, get the player some initial equipment. I don't think you can do much more here. And of course you get access to oh, can you do something here? No. You get access to the lanterns, right? Awaken. Okay. This is really upsetting to me, guys. I wouldn't trust ghost guns sticking out of the stairs moaning. Yeah, but they have a weapon and they don't look like they could use it. Oh, wow. Alright. You know what? You know what? Son of a bitch. Here, let's go. God damn it. Why is he not? Come on, I'm getting your butt. Yeah. Fuck. Ooh, that was not fair. Oh shit, I'm stuck here. This is what I wanted. Alright, get fucked. Huh? Huh? Can we do it or what? Why didn't this work like that the first time? Fuck this guy. Pinky Owns, thank you so much. Alright, first try. This was the first try. Easy. I just wanted to let you show you how the game wants it to be played, and then wanted to show you how we're playing it. Okay? Clearly this was my intention from the beginning. Gwengle, thank you so much for subscribing with Prime. That's really awesome. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Also, by the way, Papuccio, thank you for following. You didn't do first try, so it doesn't count. I see. You take that back. You take that back. Okay, so yeah, I was pretending, of course, so, you know, we could see this. Also, my blood echoes, which are here. Now, of course, I will equip some of my weapons. Alright, this was gun. No, this was gun? Yes. Okay. I thought I heard something. If you did first try, what happened? Do you have to die to get the weapon? Yes, you have to die to get the weapon. You can just continue on until later. When you find the first lantern, you can just enter the hunter stream and do the same thing. But otherwise, if you want to, you know, get to the hunter stream without that, you'll actually have to die. This, by the way, I really, really like. And for reasons that, you know, I can actually spoil this because we'll not get to this part today. This is actually the closing of a loop from way, way, way later in the game. Much later in the game, you actually have the ability to come back throughout here and you loop back right to the very beginning of the game. And I think it's a really cool moment when it happens. I like the door. If you did, the environment in this game is so unique. Oh man, don't get me started. It's so good. I also really like how basically every bit of this environment art here, right, is supporting the narrative visually, right? The whole idea of like seeing all these. Just look at this, for example, right? Like most players would just walk past it and call it a day, and that's fine. But actually, within the context of the game, there's a lot to learn from just looking at this, right? These are coffins. There is a shit ton of coffins. Lots of people probably dying here, right? Why are these coffins locked up? Right? Because people are turning into monsters in this game, right? Which happens because they've been drinking this blood that makes them into terrible creatures, right? And I suppose this would be the vials of blood, right? Yeah, they actually are. So all of that is actually here, right? You have the vials of the blood just in one picture, and you see this throughout the entire area, and it's so rich. Like Why? Okay, I'll accept it. All right, thank you, Kelly-kun, for banning the word which I say very often, I think. And it will make things much more difficult. I don't know, like... Okay, it doesn't count yet. It doesn't count yet. I need a timer. How do I need... Sorry, I didn't think this through. I need a timer so I know when 5 minutes are over. Timer. 5 minutes, god damn it, I hate you guys. You're making this hard for me. Also, Speed Girl, thank you for the poster check. Everyone, at least sit up straight when you're making fun of me, okay? You know, making fun of me, fine. But doing so while fucking your poster, bad. Let's not do that. You just said, did I? We need to find a punishment for me doing that. Okay. I'll do better now. The timer is going. I need to be very careful with what I say. Alright, looking at this, you see, you know what I mean. There's probably more blood vials here. It's abandoned. There's, you know, it's very, very rich. But it requires some work from the player, right? It's not like the game is just going out there like, hey, this is all of our story, right? But it wants you to be detectives, archaeologists, right, to find this out, which is highly unique. The downside is, of course, that lots of players... Did I? I don't even... This is so difficult. Alright, I feel I'll just reset the timer. I'll just reset the timer then. Alright. Okay, we start again. Oh, it's not... Okay, yeah. Okay, what was my point? Right. I'm not sure this is a good idea. Yeah, so many people are many players probably go through this game thinking that there's no story hidden here whatsoever, right? That because it's not really openly presented that way. That's a very unique design choice, very bold, right? Because there's effectively a ton of work that the developers of this game put into it that most people will miss, which I kind of feel working at CD Projekt. I need to be really careful with the word. How do I describe this? There's a certain shared mentality here when it comes to, you know, adding details that can be missed for the benefit of those few players who, you know, look out and search for them. Okay, I think I got this. Can we stay here for 2 hours like the guys? No! We're gonna progress now. Dead horse. That's all I have to say. Oh, oh, door. Oh. I waited so long that he's actually not where he usually is around this time. That's pretty funny. Oh. Wait, I have a weapon. Yeah, actually, let me... How do I draw this? Okay. Okay. Alright, let me check the chat. I almost read Klashenkov's message, and I hate you. I hate all of you because I see you're also trying this. I can't read any questions. Okay. Sorry, I was briefly checking my moderator chat. And this is... See, here also... It's dead people. Ooh, it actually bursts open even. That's kind of cool. Hey Miles, I know a thing you can say though. Cyberpunk DLC. I don't know anything about it. What is that? I don't even know what DLC stands for. Right. Ah, okay. Let's actually go through this a bit. So I go up. I go either through this door or to this. Oh, I feel like Alright, fuck this. Yeah, for this one, we need to come up with a way to punish me that isn't too harsh and preventing me from playing properly. Also, I need to be very deliberate with what I say. His own mod shot him. His own Chumba shot him. That was, by the way, very cool, this screech. I'm going to reset this level. Because I wanted to take a look at something that I kind of missed because I was making a lot of jokes, having a great time. But I feel is interesting to look at. I really don't know what I'm saying anymore. It's very difficult. All right. Thankfully, I'm playing this on the, well, now current gen console, I would say. So the loading times are cool. Ooh, I did it! I made it! I mean, I didn't. I realized full well that in between there was one instance where I slipped. Sorry for that, but holy fuck, don't do that again. Saving these points was so worth it. Oh, so that's how it went. Fun fact, by the way, this is like one of the only mobs in the game that doesn't respawn. And this is probably the dude from the tutorial, from the cinematic. How about saying something as punishment? Singing? No way. Okay, so I want to do this again. We walk up here. We're like, oh, we're like, haha, like. Okay, we're here looking at this, which is amazing, right? I like the foreshadowing because what we don't realize right now is that this is actually the case, the stage for the first or like optional first boss, right? So that's where on this bridge is where we would fight it. And you can see here, by the way, in case you didn't know, but it's kind of, I suppose, very obvious for people who are aware. This is a bridge that was inspired by a famous bridge in Prague, right? And it kind of goes to show the lengths that level designers and environment artists and, you know, all kinds of creatives in the games industry also go to seek and find inspiration, and how it can manifest in such a wonderful looking city. Something I actually hadn't noticed before is how that ladder is actually quite signposted from here. It's not necessarily something that you see when you look around that much. I think it blends in, but at least there's an attempt. So that's interesting. Either way, so we look at this there. You know, the boss fight, that's cool. The boss fight is also kind of signposted. You know, it's not like you hear this and you know, it will be a boss fight, but all of it put together paints a beautiful picture, right? So that screech that we just heard is also that monster we will fight on that bridge later on. So that's kind of cool. Which makes me think, if the players wanted, if the developers wanted to create this connection of you looking up there going, ah, that's pretty high, and then you ascending up higher, getting the screech, right? And so, I don't know if that is intentional, perhaps. Not sure if that is not maybe a bit lost on me. So, yeah, we go towards here. You know, we can either go to the gate. I guess most players would kind of do this, right? Go to that. And we were lucky. Actually, let's see if we can do it how I think it can go badly, right? We saw either the door on the left or we go to this, right? We do it and then we get attacked from the back by this guy. Poor version of, well, cheap knockoff version of Father Gascoigne. And I think this is sort of what was being attempted here, right? And usually I will say it actually succeeds very well because the enemy is on the left side. So even if he doesn't attack you immediately, chances are that if you walk to the gate and then turn around, that you will either notice him because he's walking there, or you will notice it because he's attacking you, right? Which is a beautiful way of guiding the player to the right direction. Right? Because the progression actually is in this end, even though it doesn't really look like it would be. Because the sort of main path for the road, right? Architecturally, what the main road is through here. This is a little side road alley. And so what happens here is that the player moves forward to this gate following the main path, right? You realize it is locked. Then looking for that, you are searching for alternatives, and then you progress further to here, you fight a bit, right? And even then, I might not necessarily see this lever because I think it blends in rather well, right? And there's a bit of a highlight on the dude in the middle, even though it's hard to see. So even if I miss it, like most people do, what actually happens is, you know, remember there was like a loot item that we already looted right behind that, so we saw the glow, and we can check that and confirm it in the recording later. So you might see the loot item, and because these guys are relatively well hidden, you're like, oh, loot, and then these guys wake up and start attacking you. And I think this is a really important moment, because at this point we've sort of had 3 trap moments, right? First is the enemy that you can't beat, or you're not supposed to beat. 2 are these well-hidden enemies that the player is likely to be surprised by. I remember firmly that this was my very first, this was my first From Software game that I played, and I remember falling for all of these traps and being so upset with this game. Like, I didn't know what I was getting into, right? And I died at all 3 of these instances, and it was just, it wasn't fun. But we will later talk about how this is actually an important part of this game's formula. One other thing I would like to... okay, first before we go on this other thing I mentioned, let's see then. So when I come back, I realize that I'm probably in a dead end, right? And so I might look around for a bit more. And I think there was also a loot item on this guy. I'm not 100% sure anymore. Which kind of helps you... you know, guides you towards this operating this device, allowing you to find this ladder and dropping it down to progress through the level, right? So let's look at the flow of this once more, you know, from a design perspective, right? And I'm doing this because I want to confirm something as well. Yeah, this is a good shot for my recording later, so we can draw on it. You see how the what are they called again? The wagon is actually angled slightly, right? It's creating this curve to the left. So it's almost kind of guiding you towards that door. And it's creating a bit this sort of, you know, this... it's hard to explain it without drawing it, right? But it's creating a bit of a confusion here, because you're kind of wanting to go to the left, but you can't really see, and then you look around a bit, you go to the right, you find the gate, which is brightly illuminated, you go over there, right, or to the door. It's not really a huge difference. This is actually a trick as well, and my point here was that I really wanted to make is that this wagon on the left was intentionally placed to hide the enemy walking around on the back, right? So you actually miss it. And you also it becomes hard to understand that there's a passage going on the left when you walk up here, right? Especially from this moment on. It's really not easy to see that the path continues on the left side. So that's why people would tend to go here, right? But when you turn around, then the arrangement makes it so that is the moment after you have seen this gate that you see, oh, the path actually continues there. Okay, so finally, this, right? We walk around, we loot a bit, cool. We are left with no other way. It was a dead end, right? So we walk up here, go to this, right? We can find the progression, We look around, we fight the dude, move forward. There's a loot item here, right? So that might hint at this. We see the loot item over there and go, oh, okay. We get fucked by these guys. Not me, though, because I know this game. And we can go forward. And this is a great way, actually, to make what is otherwise a really linear section really smooth and intuitive, yet it feels kind of, you know, like I did a lot of the work for it as a player, right? When really there's a lot of careful arrangement here that makes you move through this. I would argue it would have been much more boring if literally you would just go, there's the ladder, and then you go up here and you move this thing and then you go up the ladder. Done, right? Doing it this way makes the player feel much more like you're in control of all of this, right? While at the same time educating them on the context of their actions, right? Like, I know I need to go up the ladder now because this gate is closed and I need to find another way. If we didn't have this moment, we would lose all of this context and it would feel much less interesting, right? Okay, so this was a long time spent on this section, but I hope you see how, you know, even like smaller areas like this require a lot of attention in how you place stuff. And one thing in particular that I've noticed after I thought a while about what, you know, our gameplay last week and going into this one's, is that something that From Software really likes to do is, you know, a lot of times level designers in games will try to highlight the most important thing on a level, right? Like, for example, the gate. In you know, my level designs, it might be open, right? And you would just go through it and it would be easy, right? But From Software really has this style where oftentimes they will highlight sort of the second most important thing, right? And then the most important thing is slightly hidden, slightly obscure, right? And but only so that it will be the second thing you find after you found the first thing, right? And that causes situations like, hey, remember with the guard last week where I died a lot of times, right? Where it's basically, oh, there's loot there. That's the most obvious thing, but it's really the second most important thing in this section because the progression goes to the right, and that's where the guard walks out and he kills you, right? So by following the second, the wrong most important thing, we feel like, oh, we're going the main path. This is how we wanted, how the developers want us to walk, and then through some tricks they actually guide you to the correct path, and it feels more like you stumbled over it. Okay. Same thing here, by the way. You know, like, look, what's the most obvious thing when I look down here? Probably, I don't know, the lantern isn't turned on immediately, right? We have the other lantern there, but it's I would argue it's mostly this gate, right? So we walk to the gate, it's closed, I learn, okay, this is the thing, right? And this is where the memory is imprinted of this section. Which will become handy much later when we eventually actually come back from the other side and open it and loop back on this, right? And From Software games are famous for the way that they loop through the levels and create these aha moments when you finally find the shortcut leading back to your previous section, right? And an important part of making this aha moment work is having the imprint of this first section, right? This first contact with the shortcut from the blocked side. Because if I didn't have this moment and just eventually popped out on this other side, the effect might not be as strong. I might even be confused as in like, wait, where am I? What was this gate always here, right? So you, it gets weakened a bit. Okay, and they have these NPCs.
And not one from around here either. I'm Gilbert, a fellow outsider.
Well, it was a garage section. Rosie, but I hope it was a very interesting garage section to you.
Treating guests. Well, I don't think I could stand if I wanted to. but
Yeah,
unwilling to
Standard
help.
Comrade, that's actually
if
really
there's
good. There
anything
is
that can be
telemetry
done.
data for this kind of stuff. Some studios have it, some
This
rely
time
more
is
on it,
cursed.
some less, right? It's difficult to gather this
Whatever your
data. There's also
reasons
a lot of,
might be, you
you know,
should
sort of
plan a swift
the whole
exit.
data protection stuff,
Whatever
right?
can be
In
gained from this
Cyberpunk, you can
waste,
opt
it will
into
do
it,
more harm
actually.
than good.
And it gives developers oversight on this, right? In the form of heat maps, for example, which is really, really fascinating. Yeah. And it's actually like also a very fascinating process to kind of tweak those, right? Go like, ah man, the players are all going left here. How can we make it so that not all of the players go right here, but like a slightly higher percentage, right? How do we tip this scale a bit? And I think that's a very fascinating sort of thing. Anyway, so again, the player is forced to find a alternative route, right? And this, which isn't really, by all accounts, it's not the obvious route from here, right? It's actually invisible. The game wants you to stick on this side, right? But then once you go back, this passage sort of reveals itself, right? Almost on the left. And again, this is something that, design-wise, some designers refer to as a bounce, right? Because you sort of, like, the objective of the player is to move the player on the right side. Like, this is actually where we want him to go, where the progression is. Or that's where the element is that we want to see them. But it might be difficult to get them there for various reasons. Maybe we want the player to have this tour of lamp, NPC, gate, right? So we can utilize these kind of mechanics and then just consider, okay, what happens on this blocked passage when the player turns around? What do you see then? And then the passage kind of comes into play, right? So that's also a way of, you know, like sort of two-step guidance of the player, if you will. I hope I explained that in an understandable way. And again, here, I think this... I'm not entirely sure. Let's just do it. Oh, look, it's loot. Let's go. Ah, this is the kind of loot. Remember, we talked about this last time, right? From Software utilizes loot in two different ways. Always it's a lure, but one of them is the deadly kind, where they try to distract the player from something. And the other one is the kind where they want to make the player aware of something and lure them to an advantageous spot, right? Be it, hey, you can explore here, there's a way to get up to this place. Or simply, hey, look here, there's if you go here, you'll see stuff, right? And then you see the area underneath you with the enemies, you see the patrols, and it's quite intimidating, especially as a new player, right? It teases a bit the dangers ahead. Okay, then I would probably continue. Yeah. Okay. I really have so much more to say about this, but I kind of also want to progress. Nojakas, hey, welcome, welcome. How are you doing today? Ah, look at that. They're burning something. That is also some visual storytelling, right? In a game that is, again, otherwise really light on the sort of active storytelling. So picking these up is important. These guys are out killing things, burning beasts. Which already as a player you can then start putting things together even though the game didn't tell you anything, right? Like, hey, coffins, they're sealed. So dead people or people that they're not sure they're dead trying to break out, they're burning these beasts. There was a beast at the very beginning eating these people. Something is not quite right here. Fragzo. Ciao. What were you saying? You just killed that random guy. What did he do? He attacked me. Oops. And this is also great. Can I parry him? Which one was the button? This? Yeah, okay. Let's do it. Come on, do it. No? You're taking too much time. Yeah, okay, we'll look at this one at the recording. But what I notice is that you walk around this corner, the distance isn't. It's very easily made in such a way that you can just stumble into these guys, right? And they will attack you. You trigger them, right? But also with the torch and everything, you're more bound to see the enemy with the shield, and you're like, oh, there's one dude, right? The other guy is sort of like slightly hidden, sitting on the floor, blending in on the right side. So like a careless player might go in here and start attacking, right? And then see themselves overwhelmed. And this is really, really important part of this tutorial section in Bloodborne. I want to make a little progress before I talk about why that is so important. What's happening here? Is there anything... nothing really, right? There's nothing necessarily guiding me back to this area. Intriguing. Other than perhaps my knowledge of there being a space here. Oh. Interesting, but you see how having opened this, accessed this gate from the earlier, right, was essential in recognizing how this looped around, right? What if you just speedrun the game, beat it in an hour, then you can talk about the whole game. I couldn't speedrun it in an hour. Let's do the difficult ending. I like how, like, oftentimes From Software games will have like a hidden little sort of tutorial, and Dark Souls 3 has it also with the crystal lizard thing and the very early section, right, which allows you to not only get a sense of how dangerous the world is, but also oh, I need to concentrate. Oh shit. Ooh, timing! No, this is the grab! Oh! God damn it. I'm not good at this, am I? I'm so rusty. Let me heal up. I want to do this guy. I want to parry him. I want to... Yes. Okay, long distance parry. Look at that. Shit, he headbutted me. Let's do it again. Nope. Alright, okay, let's leave it. The world record is 21 minutes? Yeah, I can do the 30. Easy. Something I notice in From Software games is sometimes, you know, they can be a bit messy, and especially the earlier ones in how they design their locations. So you have a lot of this kind of stuff where you can actually look into sort of sections that are not necessarily fully arted, right? They're not fully taken care of, which is interesting. It just kind of gives you a bit of an insight into how these locations are made, and actually architecturally stuff like this doesn't really make any sense. Look, there's a door over there. I mean, they take very careful, you know, like, care for how they actually design these areas that, you know, are visible to the players. But sometimes, I don't know if it's their modules, like the way their assets work, that they have to place these in a way. But so this stuff is... But then again, you could argue that maybe that's just Yarnum. It's the otherworldliness of it, right? It's supposed to be a bit weird. Okay. Door? No interaction. Stuff like this also. And there's like these spaces you can almost get into, but not quite. They've gotten much better with this. I think they're sort of like, this is like a level of polish they're sort of getting better and better at. Come on. Wasn't there an enemy here? What the fuck? What happened? Wasn't there supposed to be enemies here?
Are you that outsider?
Outsider?
Well, sorry, but I don't want anything to do with you. Trot along, will ya?
Yeah, Kelly, exactly. It might just be a great excuse to do this, you know, just like, yeah, it's these, yeah, it makes it more surreal. Ooh, Molotov cocktails. So I guess like the idea is to implant the, you know, sort of like thought that, okay, these little lanterns, they're markers for doors that you can interact with, right? There's people you can talk to behind these. I'll take it. Oh, this patrol is really dangerous. I suppose that's why you got the Molotov cocktail, right? Holy shit, they're even more than I thought they were. Wow. Fuck, I don't remember that. So many. Hey, let's do it. Charge! Divide and conquer. Whoops! Ooh, we almost conquered. Wait, isn't he dead? Okay. I also got the... No, I'm not gonna use my Molotovs here. No, I wanted to use... How do I switch weapon mode again? Fuck, I was... Wanted to... How do I switch the weapon mode? Nope. Which weapon was... How do I switch the weapon mode again? Is it L1? Can someone tell me? Oh, L1. Yeah, okay, sure it was. Well, the other one is slightly better here. Alright, come on. Dude, you're so passive, it's not even funny. Okay. Alright, we got it. Look at me. I'm slightly better at this game than in Bloodborne, Dark Souls. Quicksilver bullets. Feels like coming home, guys. Alright, so wasn't there another, yeah, you get down here, right? And then... Pretty freaky place for a statue. Actually, you know what? Stuff like this makes me think that it's probably more intentional than I'm giving it credit for. Given how a lot of intent is in placing all of this stuff with, you know, like this kind of stuff tied to tell a story. So, yeah. Yeah, okay, I'll take it. I'll take it. Another thing I can appreciate about this game, for sure. Alright. Yeah, another lantern, right? Wasn't that something you can kind of see when you walk around? Not so much here. Visual stress is in the center. But if you come down here... Oh, yeah, for sure. Oh, okay. So you go up here. If you explore a bit, you can find this guy, right? And as you walk by, notice how that lamp... Well, there's like definitely like a streaming thing going. Oh, see, the streaming distance of the light is very short, but it's probably optimized as much as it can be. Well, this is like a case of the designers optimizing the game, right? And the stuff like this, rendering distance, you can sort of define, and they clearly were trying to get it to as minimal as they can while still having this sort of effect, right? I do think with like maybe another meter or two, we could have had this glow effect with the lantern a bit stronger, so it would kind of pop a bit more. Oh, now it disappeared. So that when you walk down here, and there's even this lamppost in the way. Oh. I would have probably moved that to here. I think that would have made the this click a bit better. Well, now you look. I mean, it works. The door is kind of highlighted, but or move the lantern slightly more to the left, I suppose.
Lads, you've come on. You'd open the door on a night of the hunt. Away with you. Now.
Alright, so I get to learn a lot about this hunt, right? Shit's scary to people. They don't want to be outside. They want to talk to outsiders. Everyone's locked inside. But you see what I mean here, right? Like from here it actually works quite well with the lantern. It's not super strong. The coffin's reflection is also kind of strong. But, you know, as you go down here, the light actually is hidden by the lantern, which feels unnecessary. I would have probably put it here, around here. Oh, and then probably get rid of this one. So you add a bit of a curve to this, you know, like a left-leaning curve towards the thing. Okay, anyway, so... Ooh, I remember this. Yeah, there's a dude hidden here. Look at that. So let's do this. So we go here. Does he activate? No. Interesting. Oh, he does. Look at that. And he shoots at me. That's cool. So you can see how this would have played out, right? Like if I followed the main path, you know, maybe the patrol, like I bypassed the patrol there behind me. I'm like, oh shit, I need to move forward. Oh, what the fuck is this, right? And then you get shot from behind, which is not bad. It's not bad. What would have happened if we were shot from behind from this area? This is a moment where you can earn some points. Please tell me. If I was shot from here. That's why it's important that it's also a ranged enemy here, by the way. As a little hint. Come on, someone earn a point. It's the stream delay, I know. I wasn't paying attention. Well, that's no point for you then. Can you write how I'm supposed to pronounce your name? I want to get it right. T-I's... I don't know. I feel bad for trying even. Okay. So since this is taking a while, it attracts the mob ahead. No, actually, I think the timing. Run, and cross the bridge. Here are the boss. Sorry for my... Yes, okay. No problem. No, yes, I need to cross the bridge because there's the boss, and we will try to do it. People in front of us, we would have been surprised. Danya! I'll let that count, right? It actually is a bit more than that. And please give Danya one experience points for this amazing reply, for being the only one to get it right. Actually, make it 5. Make it 5. We're being generous today. All right. So add another 4, please. Thank you, Danya. So basically what happens is we go forward, right? At this moment, no typical player will just charge into it, right? Most people will kind of stop for a moment and go, oh, okay. Those are a lot of enemies, right? And this is important, why it's important that it's a ranged enemy. Because we get shot, right? So suddenly we're like, oh shit. We turn around, we see the enemy standing where he roughly is, right? Which with a melee enemy would have not happened. They would have moved up to us. And why is that a problem? Because the instinct of a player that is being tackled from a melee enemy is what? Ladies and gentlemen, is what? Exactly. It is to head back, right? Which might get us much closer to these enemies and cause a very, very unfortunate chain reaction. Something that From Software occasionally does, but in this case it is not really what they would like to happen here, right? What they wanted to happen is that I see the enemy with a gun. So what do? You rush him, right? In most cases anyway. Like, you realize running away is a bad idea. There's a shit ton of enemies there. So usually people will try to charge it. The distance isn't big as well. So it's something that, you know, easily is inviting you to charge him. So you do it, you kill him, and what do? You find the other passage leading around this obstacle. And this does 2 things. And this is something that I will talk a lot more about later when we do the analysis. This is a moment where not only does the game use its tools to sort of lead you around, right, and let you find the passages that you need, but also does it use them to create an atmosphere of horror and tension, right? Danger lurks around every corner. I miss information a lot. I miss enemies. Every time I do that, I get attacked, I get killed, you know, and all of these moments make the player tense up, be a bit more afraid, right? And that is actually a big part what contributes to the horrific atmosphere of this place, right? In addition to those enemies that it might attack me out of nowhere, being potentially wolves and monsters and all of that stuff, right? So you see here how this is like a very intricate combination of multiple factors coming together to not only guide the player but to build the game's atmosphere, right? And you can actually Google this. Back at the time when Bloodborne came out, there were lots of articles who kind of go like, Bloodborne is really much more of a horror game than people give it credit, or like it's one of the most horrific games I've been playing in the recent times, yada yada yada, right? Because it's and this is in big part why. Yeah, and you know, the other thing is, of course, again, as I said, what From Software likes to do is put the visual stress on the second most important thing, right? Sort of like, oh, the coffin. All right, we go there, we're like, okay, that's safe, and suddenly there's enemies. Holy shit, it's in front of us. This is not the passage they want us to go, right? So we miss what is then the second kind of important thing. And we're only guided there because of this enemy. And enemies are valuable and valid guidance tools as well, enemy placement, right? So that's how it's number 2 again, where actually we need to go. It's very fascinating procedure or sort of method they're applying here. It's almost too difficult to explain it all, right? Because it's so dense, right? Not like what the one area that I didn't actually touch on is, again, like the visual narrative they're doing here with this huge monster they're burning, right? And it's like, oh shit, and these guys are clearly here going around burning these monsters, and like how all of this is sort of contributes to the atmosphere and the narrative I didn't even really touch on, right? Milosh. But I don't wear a cage on my head. Not yet. I can't find information about the actual development time, but I've heard and seen many rumors about it having a much shorter dev time. I think it also came out relatively, it's still like to this day has some performance issues, but I will say that from when I played it, that never really bugged me, no pun intended. But yeah. Again, same thing, right? And this is the purpose of this introductory area more so than any other area, is to teach new players that From Software games are meant to be slow and danger lurks are on every corner. You're supposed, like, you don't run like this through some From Software game, like, oh, look, item, whatever. But you're supposed to kind of do this, like, huh? All right, what's here? All right, you move forward a bit, like, okay, what's here, right? And you're supposed to be very slow, methodical, right? And all of these little traps, they are there to reinforce that idea and push and punish the player for misbehaving, for basically being too cocky, right? For not looking out too much. Because if you look out, these traps are foreseeable. Look here, for example. Seems safe enough, right? If I just run, I will be ambushed by this guy hiding there on the right. You can see him barely moving. But by moving slowly, I can actually notice the movement, right? Because he's not completely hidden. He's hidden in a way that allows me to see them if I'm careful, right? They could have easily just moved him back a bit further, made the wall a bit higher, and completely made him invisible. But they did not, right? So, you know, they're giving you a fighting chance. When you play the game the way that it's supposed to be played, you become better. And that's sort of the beauty of, you know, like, for me, or the fun in this, because it rewards you being strategical and thinking about the environment and being very mindful of it. Yunami, welcome to the stream. How are you doing? Danya, the first From Software game I played too. Your experience was similar to me as well. Yeah. Do you think Bloodborne type of combat could have been applied in Witcher series? I remember I would have loved to. I'm not a gameplay designer. I think, you know, the problem with this kind of combat, I think it works because it is so difficult. At least in this scenario, and I'm not sure this is what we are trying to do with Witcher, right? Like, if we made it mega super hard, it would prevent a lot of people who are playing our games for the story, for example, playing it. And this is also, by the way, what I'm explaining here is why it's important for From Software games not to have these difficulty settings, right? Because of how brutal it is. If you made this much more easy, you wouldn't have this tension building There's nothing would feel like a punishment because you get attacked, you just kill the guy, right? So a lot of what makes the atmosphere would actually suddenly not work anymore, and then it would be a much more flat experience. The side effect also, and then we will proceed, I promise. I'm sorry for just standing around here. I know it must be very boring. But the side effect of being slowed down because I'm afraid of looking around, like of enemies hiding around every corner and all that stuff, other than it building tension, is that it also makes the player much more cautious of their environment. And as a level designer, that is good for multiple purposes, right? Not only can they much more easily find hidden passages and explore, and it's cool, right? They can pick up on things that they might otherwise miss, but also it kind of allows the player to notice these visual storytelling moments with the coffins and all that a bit more, right? Because they're going slower. They're looking at things. They're analyzing. They're thinking, right? Instead of just mindlessly rushing through things. And again, that's what I love. It's so many things that come together to form like this nice cohesive whole. So many aspects that's even too difficult to just touch on in one stream, right? So presume then I'm a careful player. I've seen this guy, so now I can actually lure him out, right? And he will be very, very easy once I do so. He doesn't even attack in the right direction. That's scripted. He's scripted to actually attack away from you, sort of, right? And then he becomes like a relatively easy challenge. And just like that, I get this moment of, wow, I did this. I foresaw this, right? I played this, and it's awesome. And I think they're repeating this. Same thing here. Like, this is evil loot. Let's call it that, right? It's the one that, you know, oh, loot. Oh, wow. You get this, right? But you, like, from here, really hard to see. But if I had actually moved over to the left here, because I'm like, oh, loot. Ooh, it's placed very obviously. Okay. I need to be careful. I can't just rush in, right? So you move to the left because you look around. Okay, it's blocked on the left. Cool. So you go around here, and then you're perfectly able to see this enemy before he actually becomes dangerous. Counteract, kill the guy, get the loot, and be fine, right? And that's for me part of the allure of this game. You know, like it's one fun thing to think about how these designers they're using their abilities for evil, right? They join the dark side. They're luring players into situations that get them killed. This is not how other designers do it, right? We are there to do the good design. We try to guide you friendly. We take you by your hand and then guide you through the level so you have a fun and amazing experience. These guys don't do it, right? But it's not just like that. They give you a chance, right? And it's not like a one-dimensional kind of design where, oh, From Software, look, their games are so mean, they're just like trying to fuck the player over. No, they're doing this with a very specific intent in mind that is not just, you know, to cause frustration. Okay, let me go through some of your awesome let me check the chat for a second. Mears, what's your favorite beer? I like white beers, wheat beers, pills maybe. Like, I'm not a huge like, don't kill me for it. I'm actually not really big into IPAs, which is the trend right now. Lots of my friends are really big into them. Not so much me. More of an old school classic beer guy. Garage sections. You know, the alternative, Danya, would be to just rush through this game and not learn anything about it at all. But we're here to learn. We're here to grow, right? To learn more about game designers. Grow our horizon, be it that you're interested in game making or just that you want to know how your favorite form of entertainment is made. First time that was a jump scare for me. Yes, Dragon, that is true. And that's, again, as I said, contributing to the atmosphere of horror, right? This, or tension, stressfulness. You know, it's very good. Like, yeah, for me, same thing. Lots of jump scares. The wolves in Old Yarnum that come out of the houses, they fuck me up bad. Like, you know, like, couldn't sleep. Oh, yeah, Weißbier for the win. Der trinkt nur Milchkörper. Ja, Sandy, erstmal, danke, dass du hier bist, ne? Aber direkt wieder raus. Hier kannst du dir einen Strich abholen. Eos Andy. Thank you so much for dropping by. Soto Kurva, yes, right? Indeed, it's always awesome to learn. Yeah. Yo, Milch ist mega witzig. I love milk. See, it's multilingual now. Okay. What was so cool about this? I don't remember. There was something. There was something. There was something here. So walk around this. Alright, it's this thing. So we kind of get like, oh yeah, we're closer to this. But game is kind of putting... Alright, I remember this dude. This is overkill. Okay, so yeah, we see, you know, like, okay, you could go left, right. A nice signposting of that item over there, by the way. I like it. Ooh, now they're moving. Was that scripted? What was the trigger for it? I don't remember. Whoa. Whoa, wait. I want to do this. This is important. There's something to learn here about the setup. Wait. This is awesome. What happens here? Oh my god. Calm down. Another one? No. This was cool. Do I have the, Sacrifice all blood echoes and awaken anew? No, fuck that. Alright, guys, sorry. This is important. I want to reset this. I want to take another closer look at that. I think there's something... Ooh, where the fuck did he come from? Ah, there's something really, interesting going on here. I'll rush it. No worries. I don't have to repeat all of that explanation I just did. We only repeat a bit of the gameplay. Alright. Return to Hunter stream? Yeah. I wish I could just reset it at the lantern, to be honest. Actually, we can use that moment to also... Oh, no, I can only do it once I have an insight, right? Oh, fuck. Alright. Let's do it again. I really think there was something cool happening here. Just like not necessarily design-wise, but just under the hood, how they trigger this encounter. I really want to dissect that. Let's take a look. Rush. Gonna kill most of the guys though, because I don't want to have them kill me as I try to explain stuff. Yep. This dude left. I don't know. Where did he go? Did I kill him earlier? Ooh! Look at him! Ha! I burned him! Very good. Guys, I need... Yeah, quickly, let's do this. 1, 2, 3. Ooh, look at these guys. You're not having the best days today. Cursed beast, indeed. Have you looked in the mirror? Oh shit. Wow, if he had killed me, I would have been so upset. The revenge of Torch guy. Alright. Hey, actually, while we're at it, let's just repeat the small section here. Let's do it. Oh, no, these are enemies. That's crazy. Wow, I wonder what I should do. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. Do it. Oh, no. Oh, what? Oh, and he even has like a relatively long reload time, which is inviting you to charge him. There we go. Right. And let's do what I also said here about being careful. Ah, see? You can figure these things out if you're careful. And it actually takes a long time to react then. Ah, no. Just die. Okay. So, one more guy. Oops. Doesn't have the range that I thought it would. Okay, now. So, I see the danger in the middle. Still a thing. I approach it here. While I'm just standing here, nothing will happen, right? They're not waiting for the bell toll. That will trigger as I move closer, which I think is really cool. So, clearly, so what I'd like to do is, okay, going down there, not an option. It's very dangerous. Too many enemies. I don't know how to deal with it, right? So the game throws me a token enemy, seemingly, right? There's this dude over there. He's alone. Yeah, I can handle him. He's a torch guy. They don't do shit. And there's an item over there. And oh, there's an item up there. I don't know how to get up there, but it's the kind that makes you realize that you can explore a bit, right? So yeah, let's then approach this guy. Nothing happens. I'll just go here. Oh, and then they start moving. I go towards this guy. He starts moving away. I can focus on him. That's okay. And then I need to be careful that this guy, yeah, doesn't fuck me over. Trap. Interesting. So this is actually scripted to happen. Okay, this is at the same time a distraction to this, again punishing me for being careless, for taking the bait, while at the same time giving the player a chance to actually do this section, you know, by chipping away at these enemies. I will say it's not necessarily the most believable bit, you know, like why wouldn't all of them trigger at the same time? Don't these guys talk to each other? But it works for the gameplay here. Ooh, I love this. This is good. This is good. Welcome, but I never left. I like these moments. They're like, yeah, it's so close yet so far. Do some exploration. And it's mean because you kind of know now that on the other side of this gate there's this enemy doing things, and you kind of know, oh shit, they're in the same direction. I know. But by guiding me towards this loot item, right? We do, what did I say some level designers call this principle or this method of doing it? Guys, point question right there while I take another sip. Man, it's like 9:30 and I'm still drinking double shots espresso. It's probably not the best thing to do. Come on. You've been listening earlier. Some of you were. Bouncing. Yeah, it's very close. So that's 10 points for Kelly Kuhn. Very good. Thank you. So yeah, because we're lured here. This is not where we need to go. We sort of bounce off this, right, by turning around, and then we're able to see, oh, look, we can go here. Which actually, funnily enough, isn't even the progression. I can't go here, right? Ooh, shit. What the fuck? Can I abuse this? Dude, I'm trying to educate people here. Yeah. You go up. Actually, it's not very well done. It's very hard to see. I thought it would be better. Like, you turn around and then you'd kind of be like, oh, look. I think that's what they're trying to do, but it didn't quite work out that way. Nonetheless, there is the chance to drop down here and do the encounter in a slightly different way. The floor is shiny? Perhaps. I think that's a bit far-fetched. It's not working so well. It's not working so well. I would be more inclined to go here, which is a dead end. Is it like a double bounce? It can be a thing. It's not necessarily the best thing, but I've seen this done before. And then you kind of do this. Oh, a bit far-fetched. Or if it is designed, then I wouldn't call this elegant design. But let's take it. We'll go down here. And I'm like, oh yeah, and then again, it's testing careful players versus reckless ones, right? Because that dude on the right has a rifle, which is hard to see, right? But I might feel safe enough that I can roam here. Go, oh, hopefully this gate doesn't open. Oh, that is definitely one. Notice how just a second ago, when I was actually roaming here, my number one target would have been this guy up here, right? Back to you. You can do like a strong attack. Awesome. And the dog on the right is hidden by this car, right? Very carefully placed, all of this. So, because I'm kind of going here with the awareness of there being loot, hoping that this doesn't break, right? This is a bounce for sure. I turn around and then suddenly my priorities shift because this door is even highlighted, right? So suddenly I'm like, oh, it's actually, this is my priority target, right? This one seems much more dangerous than going for this one. So let's do that. Also, it's a new enemy type. And you can't sneak up on it. Ah! Lovely. That's just mean, isn't it? Okay. Cool, but that's also one way to learn about an enemy type. Away! Away! Okay. Well, I think we almost got it. But here, I'll show you again. Because now, what we can do, and you know, in that way, From Software encounters are kind of like puzzles, really, right? I'm able to actually get by this guy. Ah. Yeah, I can really chip away at these, I suppose. Ooh, shit, he's not dead. Oh my god! I got cocky. I thought it was dead with that one attack, and I stopped attacking, thinking that was it. Man, that's what it goes. That's how it goes. F in the chat. Alright, let's do it again. Real quick. Suppose I can probably skip most of these. Oh shit. Because they won't follow me all the way, right? They won't follow me all the way, right? How far will they follow me? Woo! Oh. That's pretty close. Dude, could you please die? Alright, how far? Who else is coming? You guys stop following me. Alright, I appreciate that. Okay, that was okay. Alright, so we didn't lose too much time on this. Oh crap. Right. No camera lock. Ooh. Oops. Well, yeah, that's an interesting way of solving this. See, and suddenly, you know, because the game kind of wants you to move through here, right? And be a bit more aggressive in your movement. These rifle guys, they need to be charged, right? This game is all about being aggressive, especially compared to Bloodborne. I mean, in combat. In combat, it's about being aggressive, right? It's not about aggressively running through this level, but the whole combat system is meant to be more aggressive than Dark Souls. So these guys, they need to be charged in order to be easily taken out. Alright, and yeah, my point was that it's interesting to see how this, what seemed like the #1 priority target at the beginning, actually ends up being only an enemy that I would fight at the very end, or maybe not at all, right? Perhaps I wouldn't clear this area. I'm actually not going to. So yeah. Okay, now we move to the other side of the gate, which is fascinating in by itself. Slight curve here. Do they want me to look on? See, like a loot item like that should always be something that a Souls player should become suspicious of. Ooh. That one, on the other hand, so hidden away, is actually much more inviting. Will I get punished for walking up to it? No. Cool. But that's important as well, by the way, right? Like, you can't always do these evil things to your players, right? Because then they will learn to see a pattern, right? They will know, okay, every loot item I need to be careful, and it will take away the tension because of it becoming predictable, right? So of course you need to vary things. You need to throw the player a curveball every once in a while, right? A bone, rather, I think, and you know, by that let them feel secure and add some variety to it. It is very important, and it's as something that we talked about last week with Dark Souls 3 as well, right? Once the player becomes comfortable with something, the game kind of likes to pull the rug from under the player's feet by playing with your expectations, with the patterns that you get used to, and teaching you where your place is. There's actually a secret passage, which I think is a nice little touch of non-linearity. And again, dangerous, because like it feels, just looking down, I don't see any threat, right? But as soon as I do drop down, there's a lot of caged dogs, which partially can even escape, so it can make this encounter quite difficult and surprising. And actually, by the way, this is kinda what I meant, you know, like previously the drop downs were kinda safe, right? I could drop down, I'd be fine. I wouldn't need to worry about enemies so much, right? Except for here. Like, this is where they, you know, play with your feelings, play with your habits that you're forming, and they do pull the rug under your feet by actually suddenly having a shit ton of enemies here. Okay, I don't want to talk to these guys. It's not signposted at all that there's a hidden passage here. Interesting. By the way, it can also be interesting to have areas where you do not necessarily need to put a lot of visual stress on things, right? Here, I wouldn't say that there's any real important place that the player needs to go to, which can be fine in sections where you, of course, want the player to free roam a bit, do a bit of exploration on your own, right? And that is cool. So, as I walk around, for example, I can see these enemies, right? I think the first time I actually didn't see them. Like, I actually ran up to them and then got attacked. Ooh, this third one is out there. Is there loot? The dog-sounding birds. Yeah, they're both, right? Oh, we hear the music box. Okay. So that's cool, right? It's like a nice way of just exploring every once in a while. You don't always need to do these sort of guided things, but it's in a controlled environment, right? This is intentional. It's not because they forgot to do it or something, right? They were very aware that, hey, here it's okay, you can go left, you can go right. Ultimately, this is the path to progress, but in between, you do you. Why is this so important? Is there a light source from somewhere? No. Weird, right? So it's like an intentional focus on this. Burned books, I suppose. Bloody corpse. I wonder if this is like a spot where they want us to look at the sort of visual narrative here. Sanquad, hey, welcome. How are you doing today? Are they laughing or crying? You can't tell, right? These guys are having a great time with their party, even though everyone else is horrified. Oh, cocky. I underestimated how much damage I dealt. I thought I could take it with one hit. Yeah. Okay, this dude wasn't really tough. No wonder he wasn't able to break open the door, eh? Okay. Oh, how come? Have you been studying hard? Exams? I'm doing great. I'm doing great. Having a good time. Having coffee. Ooh, this is, by the way, nice. I like this a lot. Right? So the passage is a bit hidden, because at some point the game needs to start infusing this idea of, hey, you know, now that you're playing careful, now that you're looking around, what also you get as a side product of that is you don't only not die all the time, but also you have moments where you can actually now find stuff because you're walking more slowly, right? Imagine I just walked up this staircase. Then I might have found myself in a situation where I would be fighting this dog. Oh, he actually noticed me. See how quickly he can notice me? So, not being careful. Oh man, come on, don't do me like that. Wow. Right, so you would have easily stumbled into a situation that might have really fucked you over, right? But because I'm playing careful, I'm you know, I'm slowing down. I also can explore better, right? So that's another side of. Oh my god! Let's finish this first before I. Need to be careful with the dogs. Yeah, okay. Can you come down then? Fuck you, dog. There's a second here. Okay, so just to summarize then what I just wanted to summarize, the slowdown that is happening because the game is so punishing, right, is not only contributing to the atmosphere, to the horrific atmosphere, to the tension, right? It is also pushing the player, because of it slowing down, or allowing the player to be more focused on exploration and also, of course, the visual narrative, right? Because as you go slower, you're much more likely to notice all of these things. And conversely, if you go fast, you have a higher chance of missing all of these things, right? So, which makes it a worse experience in my head. So it's beneficial for the game to push you to play in this way. Okay. Again, just prove my point. The passage here, pretty much invisible. But I need to actively look around to see it. Perhaps also this could work off a bounce. So if I... Dude, you're dead. Don't. So you walk up here, right? You might hear the music. There's a bit of a highlighting happening on the left. So you might go here. Again, have this important, vital moment, right? It's like yeah, it's super important for you to understand how the shortcuts work. We talked about this earlier, right? So we have this crucial moment, we turn around, and then actually from here it works much better. Notice actually how it works so well, because like once you do this and you turn around from here, the passage on the left is almost invisible, except for the stairs, right? Like here, the visual stress clearly is straight. So you can tell here actually how this is bouncing again, you know, like as you move, the game works to shift what is important to you, the staircase, and move the highlight to this area on the left, right? And then create this sort of bounce. We're like, yeah, that's the main progression. This is how it feels like. So let's do these optional paths. And we get this moment, which is only understandable, really, what we're having here, because we've seen this same loot item from the other side, and that's also how it becomes a very rewarding experience. See? And so here the player is sort of inclined, that's how I just cleared this area 100%, right? With the game actually having pushed me to kind of do this, which is cool, right? Like, I don't feel like I'm being manipulated by the design of the world here, right? But really, the setup here is what pushes you as a player to actually find all of these things and learn how this design here works. Oh my, there you are. Don't worry, there's still the other door, right? Okay, let me check the stream the chat real quick. Also the clock. Okay, we still got an hour. Sound design right now is pretty jarring. Yeah, are they laughing or crying? Hello, I'm tired. Yeah, calcimining, painting the house. Oh wow, insane. That's cool. Wow, and you're doing that all on your own. Are you? If yes, mad props. I don't know if I could do that. I can only do it virtually. Digital level design is my forte. If you design your levels, do you only use 3D boxes or do you also scribble around in 2D? So, great question. I do both, with a tendency of actually jumping straight into 3D because for me, that is how I can much more easily feel out this space, right? But what I will do in 3D is not like a really elaborate or detailed block out, but I usually do like the roughest and rushes of shapes, right? Like a scene like this, right? I would do literally with, I don't know, like 5 gray boxes to just kind of, you know, stretch, scale, just to get like the rough shapes of it and get a feeling of how the space might look like in the end. And then I try to hammer it out from there. It's a bit like if you imagine yourself sculpting or something, right? So you would get the clay into the rough shape of what you want to do before you then start carving it out. And that's sort of my process. However, other level designers will completely start in 2D, draft it out, do like a whole drawing and really iterate on that 2D drawing before even attempting to jump into 3D. And that's valid as well. It's really a matter of sort of like, are you more of a left brain versus right brain person, right? So yeah, that's cool. There's different processes. It's a creative kind of job, right? Creative work. So there's no a clear-cut way of how to do things, Unami. And 2 days ago I designed a test area to test game mechanics and a combat area to test the combat and the AI. It is for a small project. Awesome. Awesome. That is really cool. Good for you, man. Do you know Donkey? Yes, I know Donkey. It's very funny. I actually started watching him. I'm not so actively following him anymore, but I remember watching him when he, you know, when he was playing League of Legends back in the day. Good stuff. Everyone has their own way at going at it. Exactly. So yeah, I really like, you know, for me, doing things in 3D is just such a quick, rewarding way, right? I get like a really quick overview, instant feedback of how a place looks like, right? I can envision something like this gate much more quickly when I use like, you know, like 4 boxes to create like straight and then maybe like this sort of arc shape, right? And jump right into the game and play it and see it out. And for me, that gives me much more information much quicker than doing all of it in 2D. And again, in terms of the scope and the scale, I feel it is a easier representation. However, having said that, 2D blockouts are really important as well, right? They can serve as a really important tool to foolproof and to fact check your, I'm not sure those are the right words, but to check your location for believability, right? Because what I may end up doing with just doing quick 3D blockouts is that you may lose the architectural integrity and believability of your place. You might create places that are really weird and, you know, they work in 3D, but if you really think about them, like corridors are not laid out this way, houses don't work this way, right? And doing it in 2D is usually a great way to spot these problems and to adjust them to create a more believable and real spaces. Yeah. Not alone. Hey, the Sun Quad made it. Yep, he did. Not alone, of course, but I was carrying leftovers and cleaning the ground from drip still. Fucking awesome, man. I can hardly... Like, I think the gamepad is the... and the kitchen knife. Oh my god, I forgot about you. Are the tools that I can somehow wield. Wow, how did I get hit by this dude twice? What happens if I shoot you in the face, dog? Oh, that. Okay. Spark, by the way. Awesome of you also to drop by. Have you been watching for longer? I'm sorry. I haven't... Oh, man, it's been super busy. How are you doing? Good question, Sunquat. Miles. Max Pierce suggests putting your LD work to your own website, but I can't buy a domain right now. Would ArtStation be okay? Absolutely, I think. Absolutely. ArtStation seems... I'm not on ArtStation, but it seems to be go-to portfolio place, so there's nothing that would speak against me doing those there, not at least from my perspective. So this is a section I quite like. Was going up here. Hear the scream, right? Do we have a Discord yet? Not quite. I'm not sure after how you've treated me today, Icy. No, I'm still considering it, but I'm wondering how full-time for me this would become. Like, wait, hang on a sec. I had a trail of thought that I almost lost. Yes. I like that how here, when you actually come out, you're now not confronted with just one of the difficult enemies that destroyed you at the beginning, right? That one was at half health. Now it's at full health, but it's even two guys. So the game is clearly going up in difficulty. And they do this, of course, because these guys are a bit of a gear check, I would say. You would say that in MMOs, right? That a boss is a gear check. It requires a certain equipment level in order to be solvable, right? And it's the same here. Doing these two guys you need because we're now on this bridge that we were looking at earlier, and as soon as I enter the area all the way in the back, a boss spawns, right? So these guys are kind of there as my almost final test. There's also one of these brutes we fought earlier, which is also a bit more of a difficult enemy for beginners. So all of these are kind of there to prepare you. And if you can do them without dying, you've probably made it so far that you can get to the boss. Okay. So, guys, I need to take a very brief break. Bathroom break. Miko will entertain you in the meantime, and you guys get yourself some drinks, some water, stay hydrated, that's important, and we'll see you again in just a couple of minutes, just a few. Don't go away, we'll have plenty of more awesome things to look at. All right, we're back. Yeah, another sip of coffee. I'm almost a bit overwhelmed as to how to present this properly. We're still recording, right? Yeah. Thank you for welcoming me back. Welcome all of you back who may have gone out to get some drinks and have now returned fully hydrated, maybe slightly drunk, depending on what you're drinking. It's okay to have a beer with these temperatures, maybe two. It is, after all, after work for most of us, right? I hope. Then again, time zones are a thing, right? We drunk? Never. Weren't you the one who told? No. Who was it that was saying last week, you know, being a bit tipsy, drunk helps with them with creating? There's still some truth. Interestingly enough, the boss at the other end here is not even the... sorry, then I misremembered that, Unami. But I remember one of you guys were... and I can vouch for it. It is true to a degree. It is not the first boss, but it's the one that most people kind of would stumble into for the first time. You see kind of how we relatively naturally just followed the level and ended up here, right? This is an optional boss entirely, right? Because actually I think the progression is down here. Let's see how that works, because I don't remember fully how I'm led to this. In my mind, it was really well hidden, almost too well hidden, so I'm kind of trying to figure out how this is put together. There's no enemies here. Going around here. Ooh, loot. Okay, I like it. Look, it's a Witcher wolf head logo. Okay, so we do this. I look around. I get our loot item, and I get like, ooh, this moment again. Now, this is something that I've been talking about a lot, right? Which is, it is important to use tools to make or to design your levels in a way that the player can mentally map the location out and understand them, right? And we have seen several tools utilized in the past, right? One of them being landmarks, right? You remember in our Mass Effect 3 videos, if you haven't seen those, check that out, right? You can see it in the VODs of this channel. Where they were using the Reaper, right, to kind of give a bit of a sense of, or allow the player to get a better sense of how they're moving around the location. And here, they're using this characteristic cleric beast, which is being burned in the middle, right? It's clearly the largest section here. It's a, we call this a landmark, a POI almost, right? And how is it helpful? Not only is it an imposing moment earlier when we saw it, right? Nice visual storytelling, but it is only because of this thing, or like mostly because of this thing, that I can make this connection. I'm like, oh shit, this is the loot item I saw earlier, and I missed the loot item down there that I didn't loot. Okay, because I killed that guy. But so seeing all of this, you know, is really where it all pays dividends that you've done this earlier, right? And now I can really understand, holy shit, okay, that's the area from earlier. I remember it because of this dude corpse in the middle being burnt there. And oh wow, look, that's where I was just half an hour ago over there, and that's the gate where the dude was bashing in, and I killed that dude already, and that's the loot item I saw earlier. So cool, right? And it instantly makes you kind of click. It makes it click when it comes to understanding how this space works, how I've moved, because in between you might have gone like, oh, I don't know where I am, I don't know where I came from and all that, but now it all comes back together again. What is more then? And so when you design your levels, right, or you're part of a team designing levels, Sunquad, for example, remember about these things. It's important to spend some resources on creating characteristic elements in your level that allow the player to orient themselves and memorize them, right? It's again, if you think about how you might be moving through your village, through your city, I can almost guarantee you that you work in a similar fashion. You know, you have some spots in a city that you kind of recognize and that allow you to go, I know this place. So the street is the restaurant that you go to is off of that street. Okay, yeah, cool, right? And it allows you to understand these. Mind you, this I would consider somewhat expensive even, like when it comes to the resources that are being spent here in terms of making these custom assets, right? This corpse needs to be created, the whole setup here is like a custom 3D meshes, so quite a bit of work, and it doesn't always need to be like that, although it can be beneficial, right? So when you create these POIs, these landmarks, I mean, you can probably kit bash something by combining existing pieces. For example, imagine these wagons here would be placed in like a triangular fashion, as if they would be protecting something in the middle, right? Like they created like a wall or something. That way you could have probably had a similar, if maybe slightly less strong effect, while using assets that already exist and that are less unique, right? It's not a necessity, but it's of course always cool when you can do something a bit more custom. Is there any other place to put your LD work other than ArtStation? Maybe more suitable one for LDs. ArtStation is maybe for... No, I don't. I think it's a fine place. I think it's a fine place to do this. It's game devs. It's also concept artists and all of that stuff. There's a lot of design stuff on there as well. Maybe a stupid question, but what is an LD? Yes, it's a level designer. level designer. But it's a valid question. No stupid questions on this stream, unless you question my Bloodborne skills. Those are stupid questions, because of course, as you see, they are godlike, easily, divine. Okay. It's not lethal dose. It happens. Yes, especially at this time of day. Okay, cool. So basically, what happens here, we go up, we have another kind of bounce leading you to this sort of area. Okay, nice. No progression, though. I don't know how to proceed. I turn around, and that's sort of when my eyes fall a bit on this weird space, right? Which solely functions off of negative space. Remember what I, what I told you about negative space. If not, we might see this on the recording, which we'll have to switch into soon. And then we are able to find this passage, even some loot as a reward. We move forward. And this is actually the main progression as to how to continue this level. Knowing you guys, however, you probably want me to do less of the level, but take on the cleric beast, which honestly I think it will fuck me. I think I know my audience at this point, so let's give it a try. Oh, I triggered both of them. I should have really used the pebble that I literally just... Actually, this is so dumb. Let me try to explain to you why it makes sense. What the fuck? Dude, I didn't leave you here. Okay, I think I un-aggroed them. So what just happened is that corpse over the cliff dropped an item, which is a pebble, right? A little rock that I can use to distract enemies, and I think it was made specifically, like, the reason why the game gave me this is specifically also to help me tackle this situation, right? Because having this, I can actually come back, and sort of just clever loot placement, I think. Yeah, I can use it to divide and conquer. So, hey, remember me? No, of course not, because you're a different enemy. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh no, he isn't even dead yet. Be dead. Oh my. Oh, what? No. Well, divide and conquer, what happened to that? Okay, let me stand here for a second and get my bearings. Oh, you just had to dodge, right? Ooh, that's your end. Ooh. Get fucked. Alright. Wow, okay, but yeah, so, whatever I said about the pebble. Now you can see how it can be useful here, right? Oh wow, walls of text. What's happening? He never dies. Blood death. Oh man, that's so bad. What's happening at this time of day? What did Noyaka's write? I missed the joke. Fair enough. What? I missed the joke. Anyway. Another question mark. First, which level design should I put on my... Oh, that's a bit of a long question to answer before a boss. I'll get to that later. Maybe ask it again during the Q&A. One thing I have to critique about LD and Cyberpunk. The city center roundabout. As someone who likes to immerse myself by turning off the minimap, that is literally one of the few points in the city where I have no idea where which exit leads to. The roundabout near North Oak, for example, is very good because every exit looks different and is therefore easy to remember. Valid criticism. Valid criticism. I think... excuse me. I almost choked. So, I think the difficulty with a game with a city of the size of Night City in Cyberpunk is simply balancing these out and finding the right balance between the organic look that we expect of a Cyberpunk city like that, while still maintaining its user friendliness, right? With a roundabout that big with so many exits, it is really difficult to pull that off. I do think probably we could have done a better job at that one, but understand that, you know, Night City was incredibly difficult to make, you know, if we wanted to keep this organic feeling in place, right? If you really look at the street network, it is a spaghetti street network, right? It's so crazy, and maintaining that while still, you know, making sure that it's easily navigatable is difficult. And thankfully we have a GPS system to help us out with that, right? It's because otherwise, I don't know, it's almost impossible to create a street network like this that is as intuitive to use as it should be for players, right? If you really think about streets, even in real life, it's often there also confusing where one leads to the other and all of that stuff, right? Highway exits, and sometimes you leave them and they do like double turnarounds and all that stuff, and you require almost tools like GPS or reading the signs and all that. And trust me, you're not reading the signs in Cyberpunk while you're driving through Night City, right? All of these kind of things work a bit differently, and yet you still have the same challenges, while at the same time players are not really expecting to use the same systems that you know we use in real life to make cities and streets more easily navigatable. Airports. Oh my! This guy, by the way, okay, funny thing that happened here is I walked down here. My eyes got caught on that blue thing on the right. I saw the passage. I'm like, oh, this is probably not something worth pointing out. A passage, right? And then I got attacked by the from the backside. Again, the typical trap enemy, right? That also is used to guide you to another section. And also these will be part of the main progression. They will lead you to the sewer system where you actually need to go. So the game, you know, before you get to this optional boss, has multiple moments where it's like, dude, you really don't want to go down there. You just go this way, right? Yeah. So, actually would like to go down in there. This house is so mean. Let's do a quick one on this. See the enemy on the left? Because we've been careful. It's really hard to see, but that's intentional, right? So I go to the loot item because I'm a noob, and there's one on the left even. Look at that. Especially in this house, I remember how creepy I found this. Like, it terrified me. First time I was playing this. Decoration is awesome though. Look at all those vials and stuff. I wonder if this is another house where, I suppose so, like where blood administration was done, which is an important part in this game. So you might see this one more easily, right? But he's a trap in by itself. Like seeing him, and this is again pulling the rug from under the player, right? This is a moment where you might feel clever for having found out the game and like, I'm not stupid, I see things, right? So you run towards him, you kill him perhaps, and you're like, oh, I'm the best video game player in the world. I found a shortcut. Where does it lead? Let's check that out in a minute. And you're like, oh, I killed all the enemies, all the loot. Let's go there. And then it's this old dude who actually, I think he blows everything up? No. Oh, no. Are you the suicide dude or do you have the rocket? Oh, you have the gun. Okay. Yeah, wheelchair dude suddenly pops up and kills you when you loot him, right? And he moves just slow enough so you don't really notice him until it's too late. Oh, some loot, some lore. Good stuff. Good stuff. Wheelchair dude. No, Spark. Again, like, I like talking about, you know, even the parts that you can criticize in our games. Criticism is valid, right? It's just a matter of how you talk about them. And, of course, doing these kind of analysis, which we are also doing internally, is, of course, an important thing, a step in self-improvement, right? And becoming better designers. It's not unlike what we're doing here today. So I really appreciate you for doing that. Don't worry. This is cool. Okay, so let me just quickly do this before we go to the boss. Like, by the way, this is also like one of these enemies that sort of are only there to guide you forward, right? He comes out, you realize, this is a passage, cool, some loot, you go up, and we loop back to our lantern from earlier. Right, and this is, again, these aha moments. Oh, wow, look at that. I love how they loop their levels. It's almost, and I wonder if there's a lot of, you know, thought spent in the timing of this, because oftentimes their shortcuts to me feel like they're just, the sections between levels are just long enough to make me slightly forget about this, right, and not pay much mind to, oh, I wonder where that shortcut, I wonder where that, right? And the moment you kind of, you know, it's not in your mind anymore, it brings it back and you have this, oh, right, I remember. And it's almost like it sort of Disneyland design, great fidelity in that. Okay, so you open the the shortcut to this section. You can actually go this. Let's do the cleric piece, I suppose. That trauma from this house when I played it. Yeah, done, yeah. It is a traumatic house. This dude also, you're like, yeah, I want to kill this guy, but you can't sneak up on him because he's protected by his Raven brothers. How can I switch target again? Dude, how about you taste rock? Most scary level in the game for me was the woods. Ooh, I think the most scary one for me was Old Yarnum. The first time I played it, and again, I'm really bad with horror games. For me, this was the most horrifying experience, right? I'm only okay with it now because I've played it so often. I feel like I really sort of conquered it, right? But the first time I played it, Old Yarnum was, and Yahar Ghul. Holy shit, man, that was. Ugh. Okay, Sunquad, thank you very much, everyone. Posture check time. Good, I was actually sunken down quite a bit. Thank you, I appreciate it. We're looking out for each other on this stream. Okay. Let's fuck up these ravens real quick. If I die now, this will be embarrassing. Let's get some of these Molotovs just to give me a bit of an edge. Can I do it? I don't know. Let's have some coffee before. I'll get to your question in a second, Spark. I know you guys can't wait for me to get fucked up by this dude. Oh man, I don't like this dude the wrong way. Ooh, I'm doing the cardinal sin, which is you're not supposed to do the auto aim on the target lock on this guy. Oh, this is bad. Oh no, 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 no. That's not. I do not like this because the camera is really weird. Like when you use the game's systems, it's actually more difficult, you know? Play this safe. Use some of these guys. They do a lot of damage. Let's do one of these moves. How about that? Let's do one of these again. Oh, it's good. I think that was... Oh. Well, I'm cheesing it. What am I not? Ooh. I do not like that. And the end. You know, and again, like this boss I actually kind of think is a bit annoying because the best way to do him is not to use the target lock, which makes, as you see, the encoder really hectic, right? Thank you. Just casually, you know, first trying this one. Finally, someone may believe me that I can actually do these. Elsfake, thank you very much. Yeah. So why I really wanted to do this boss is because I can now become a bit stronger. Crazy Kitty, thank you so much for the cheer. Yes, for the bit. So yeah, there's better bosses in this game. Much better ones, right? Because the arena is bigger and you actually don't, you know, you can use the game system to its full extent and still have a good time. Here I find it's actually very hectic. Wow, I wonder why this... Look, that's really odd, right? Like... We have, like, of course, for the distance here, this is what they call LODs, right? So the farther an object is away, the less high resolution it is. It's a performance optimization thing. And I'm just confused why exactly that one coffin over there is still rendered. It's pretty funny. I actually think this is the one door in the game that is kind of locked, but it actually has a proper connection. Door talking time, right? Where actually there is a proper loop back to this section from a section later, but for reasons of, you know, I guess how you're moving through the entire game, they decided to lock this to maintain a specific order. Also notice how the collision on the floor is a bit weird here, so that I'm clipping into it actually. Is that everywhere? No. Here it's fine. It's just here. Oh. Place full of mystery. King of North, thank you for following me. And we all know you're not just the King of the North, you're the #1 King of the North. Okay. Another awesome. Another question. At first, which level design should I put in my forum? Yeah, that was the question for earlier. Let's yeah, the repost. Okay. Really, just do stuff, make stuff, and put that in there. Preferably put stuff, you can do work in progress stuff, right? But it's always awesome to see project that you finished. Rather do a smaller project, but have it done, you know, like just one level maybe, than many large projects that are not done. Boss that I hate the most is fucking Ebritas. Ooh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. For me, it's gotta be the fucking dog in the and the Chalice dungeons, the more difficult one, the one that's before the Kreen Yarnum. That dog is so difficult, but I had to kill him. Had to kill him for that platinum trophy. Dracula's coffin. Woohoo! Thank you for following here. Yeah, that's what my bot wrote. Very good. That's what you get, Miles, for just stupidly reading random. Honeybee Yellow. Thank you for following me. I hope you're enjoying my content. Ooh, they have another gift. Oh, the beckoning bell, and yeah. So now that I have done the first boss, or actually have just experienced it, I have gained some insight, which is like a very Lovecraftian thing, right? Like I gain insight into the eldritch horror madness. I become a bit smarter, but the knowledge is making me go mad. And as a consequence, now the doll is alive. All cool stuff. We're not here to do a lore run as much as I would love to, but it's just there's better channels and that do that.
Very well.
But most importantly, now we can level up, become stronger, and I'm just gonna maybe yeah, let's just do this. Ooh, damage, guys, that's what we want. Give us sweet damage. All right. Congrats, keep gaming, mentor. Thank you. I will. I thank you. Thank you very much. 50 people. We're kind of a college class. It's a big college class, and I'm really loving it. It's so good. I'm actually, honestly, you know, I'm really excited about that. The fact that there's so many of you who are actually interested in my rambling about game design. You know, and I take from that you're also not just interested in watching me fail, but you know, whether you want to become designers or whether you you know, just are interested in checking out what your favorite form of entertainment, because we know it's true, how that is made, how that is working, how people like myself, one of the many designers out in the world, tick when we make this kind of stuff, right? And I really appreciate your interest in this. I think it's important. Now, when you go on Reddit and complain about design decisions, in the future you will be able to go and pinpoint exactly why things are wrong and how they should have been done differently. And now developers who read it will go, fuck, he has a point. Instead of going, what a silly, this person doesn't know how games are made. How you like them apples, huh? I'll shoot you. Come on. No, don't, why are you running away? Fire kills him. Oh, come on, dude. Just come on. What the fuck? I killed the cleric beast. Yes, but that's no reason to be afraid. These are great enemies to practice parrying, by the way. They are very fearsome with their size and everything, but oh boy. Fuck! We're running out of time, and I really wanted to go over the recording. I don't think we have enough time to properly spend on that recording. Oh shit. You know what I think this means, guys? I think this means we will have to do another Bloodborne stream next week. Oh pity. We have to play another session of my favorite game of all time? Or one of my favorite games of all time. Can you please just die in a fire? Literally. Spark, would you mind answering my last question? About what? Sorry, can you repost it? I will answer it. I will answer it. At least I'll try. Actually, you know what? We can do a poll on this. The fire damage should start burning effect from. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Dot would be nice. Even if a little one, it would make it a bit more. How do you say? Realistic, right? I'm kind of trying to figure out where I want to go. I want to get the hunter armor. We're going to do it with the secret passage. Let's actually do a poll on this. because I care about your opinions. I care about what you would like to get out of this. Next week. No more. Wait, actually, let's just say yay or nay. Alright, you guys go. Decide on the future of this stream. Don't disappoint me. Spark's last question, I hope. On the topic of these map guiding enemies, would you say that they're usually intentionally, or what they are placed after the fact when QA said, hey, this ain't obvious enough to players, as kind of an easier fix than redoing the level? Spark, thank you for Yunami for, and also Danya for reposting that question. I hope you're listening. I think it's both. I think they can be a solution to a problem that, you know, they can't quite fix by going, hey, okay, the players keep missing this. Let's put an enemy there so it's a bit more obvious. Why didn't I loot these? Or it can be part of the initial design, you know, and they iterate on it. There must have been also scenarios where they had it in the design and ultimately ended up removing them because it didn't quite work out as so well for them, right? Yeah, that's all right. That's thankfully an overwhelming majority for yay. I like you guys. I like you. You know, I like this. So I guess then we will continue playing now until we do the last 10 minutes of Q&A. So another 20 minutes. I will stop running around in circles. We will go down the secret passage simply for the reason that it will grant us the hunter's garb, right? So we look like the iconic hunters. And next week we will start by briefly going over the recording of this week's footage and just touching on a couple of the more important points that I wasn't able to make, and you know, maybe just do a couple of quick drawings just to see and sort of revise some of the more classic level design techniques these guys are using, okay? Because repetition can also be important. Okay. Oh, I can... Oh, that's so fake. Can I actually move back here? That's such a weird way of doing this. I have no comment on this. This is actually a really odd way of sort of like, you're much more likely to drop down. I suppose this is just, I actually played it, I think, exactly. Oh, the Outsider, thank you so much for gifting a sub again. Wow, thank you. 3 subs in this channel already, so far. And now one for Nojakas. Thank you so much. It is, I can't say enough how much I appreciate it. And especially since you've been so generous already. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And sorry again, like, yeah, I remembered after the stream from where I recognized you, and that was of course during the charity stream. So thanks again for dropping by my channel as well. So why I was here confused, Nojakas, use your newfound emoji power, I suppose. So clearly the game kind of just wants you to drop down. It's simpler, right? Ladders are boring, dropping down is much more fun, easy. And this ladder is actually just there to allow the player to climb out. There's some weird clipping with the meshes going on. So you climb up and then you see, you can actually go back. It's funny because from here, it looks like a one-way drop, right? You're like, oh, I need to dedicate, I need to commit to this. If I go down, there's no way I'm coming back from this. And then they're literally like, hey, by the way, you can come back from this. Oh, Yunami, what? The Outsider, you got another one. Holy shit, thank you. Fucking hell, man, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. That is so cool of you. So generous. Okay, we drop down here. Actually, notice how they signposting the passage, right? Like, sort of from up there, I could already see, oh, the path continues there because of the shininess and the reflectiveness of the floor, right? So it's really easy to read how this continues. Oh, the rats. Where was the hunter's armor again? I remember it was... Must have been one of these. Did I already miss it? No, no, no. Oh, there's a ladder there as well. Okay. I really want to get the armor. That's what I'm here for. Yeah. Interesting. Not much to say about this. I mean, level design wise, it's just space. It's an interesting looking space, but it can't really... There's nothing to be mega excited. Oh, that was dumb. I should have done like a drop down attack on this dude, because these guys are strong. Alright, I actually underestimated how much strength I gained from that level up. Oh, thank you so much. Part of the Toast Army now. I'm not gonna give you a name though. Let's not, you know. Let's leave that to... Ooh, no! Oh, fuck, I thought I could get the finisher. Let's leave that to the real pros. My bread friends, my toasters, my loafers. Alright, yeah, I'm not, let's not. The toasters. Okay, what are your proposals? We'll consider the shittiest ones. Nicely toasted. Be loafers. My loafers. Isn't loafers also no. There's really not much I can talk about here. Like, there's just loot. It's like a nice sort of free roam section. Actually, it's a bit of a puzzle section, right? There's just not much from the level design point going on here, you know, in terms of technical difficulties. It's mostly just, hey, here's enemies, there's passages, figure it out. Try to not die here, right? And so I'm kind of sort of just moving through here, trying to get this. Toasties, Mr. Toast and the Toasters. My Doorsies, step aside believers. There's a new fan army in town. Are believers still a thing? I don't know. They must have all outgrown that, right? At this point? Or maybe, I don't know. Ooh. Alright. I feel like my parrying actually has just gotten better, even though it's not perfect, than back in the days. That must have been all the Sekiro I've been playing, because that is hardcore. That has unforgiving parry timings. Bloodborne is flat out generous in comparison. Okay, but where's my... that's my armor. That's my armor. I remember it. You, sir, are my armor. Are you not? Yes. Yes! Let's grab it. Oh, guys, we will soon look so cool. This Huntress is gonna be awesome. If I had missed it, I would have been so upset. This is not the armor. Oh, no, it's in the corner over there, right? Isn't it? Yeah, it's by there. That's a dead hunter. Ooh, I love it. I love it. Actually, one thing that I find worth pointing out with these kind of things is also... You know, ignoring now the obvious level design thing here with, hey, okay, you know, like, oh, look at that shit, and then you get trapped with this. Cool. Okay. Ooh, wow. Wow, tough son of a bitch. Wow, you are much more resistant to damage, which is fitting given that you killed a hunter. The visual storytelling I quite like down to even the types of corpses they place, right? Like, hey, this is not just any person who died, it's a hunter that died here. There's other hunters, they're also hunting, and this beast, which was tougher than the others, actually overwhelmed him. You know, all of the submissions for your names, essentially, I dismiss them. Let's not You're awesome, wonderful, amazing people, every single one of you. I love you, but you're not toasters. Or for worse. But what is important is, of course, me putting on the hunter's armor. Yes. Wait, what? Why not? Don't do me. I'm pressing the wrong button, right? Use. How do I equip it again? Oh, there's an equipment screen. I forgot. I'm doing it wrong. It's been too long. This kind of goes to show that maybe the way of doing this is not necessarily intuitive. Look at how cool we are now! After having seen the intro cinematic for 20 times, right? Today when we were launching the stream, we now have this. Oh, wow. Actually, let's make longer. I love this. Clink, clink. I just wanted to clear the area to see if there's any loot here. Oh, what? Oh, they do damage. Please just get fucked. Oh. Wait, I'm still analyzing this. I'm getting too much into actually playing this game. Hey, 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 we're here to do the LD stuff. Yeah, I find this interesting that basically the progression is actually down here, so you could just go down sooner and avoid all of these tough enemies, but it is really the way you need to go if you want this loot item. So suppose we had jumped down earlier, right? Then we would have come across this loot item there and be like, oh shit, I need to actually go up there to get it, right? And it's nice, again, losing the loot to get the player to do something, right? And in this case, to explore more, to go back, get to the other areas. Gagalino, hello, my first time here. Welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for dropping by. I hope you're enjoying the show. I've heard you love talking about level design and stuff. Looking forward to that. Oh boy, yeah, do I love it. We've been doing that all day, almost. And if you like to hear about this stuff, I wholeheartedly recommend you to check out the VODs of the previous streams we've done, because they're packed with what I hope to be valuable content. Look actually how from here, not only do we see location, but you know, you realize here how strong the calling of the way they display their loot really is, right? Other games have chests, like player chests, loot chests and all that stuff, right? Here they actually have glowing orbs, like in all the Souls games, and you can see how that makes them visible from so far, and that is what allows them to actually be used as lures, like in this case, right? You see it and you're like, shit, I want to get there. How the fuck do I actually go there? Oh, there's a ladder over there. Maybe that way I can actually get to that section, which I actually don't think is true. It loops back wrong. So yeah, oh, I can go up that ladder and maybe move up in that direction. And since I've done this bit before, I can kind of put one and one together and assume how that section will work, right? And again, another mean loot item. I think for every one of you who's been watching this today, at this point it should be clear that, you know, we shouldn't just charge into that, right? The problem is I ran all out of Molotov cocktails, which is perfect to deal with these guys, so I have to do it a bit in a different way, I suppose. No! Ooh, I can't believe I survived that. Wow. Oh my god. They pack a lot of damage. But they're very slow. So thankfully, somewhat predictable. Ooh, I say that and then I get fucked. Dude, don't puke on me. The saw cleaver that I have is really not the best weapon for this, because as you see, the sweep is actually slightly too high. The charge attack. Nope. Alright. Another one of these traps, right? Where they basically try to get to lure you to an item and then they destroy you. Valuable content. And again, that forces you to sort of kind of play a bit more carefully. Let's check out this section. And let's actually go up this area. 5 more minutes. Let's clear this quickly. Ooh, look, these are the same guys from the lantern and all that stuff. Yeah, nice. So it seems to be that they're actually... I'm not the only one who can see the messengers. Wait, I'm missing something here. Is this a trap? I don't remember. No, but I need to get up there. Oh, it's this room. Oh, it's that section. Yeah, we'll do this next week. This is awesome. It's not very long, but I think it's a bit longer than I want to go for today. But it's great. We can do this by doing the secret passage that we didn't go to earlier. Let's just finish this bit. Oh, again, like, you might not see them, right? You just charge in, you deal with these guys, which start moving so quick. And these guys actually drop down, I think. Right, there you go. And it's, again, this, when you rush in, you know, the threat might not be so high initially, but you will quickly find yourself overwhelmed. And it is exactly this kind of design that will ultimately, yeah, increase the tension that you get from playing this, right? Because I think one of the design philosophies that Miyazaki put as one of the pillars of this game was that every fight should feel like a fight for survival, right? And I think this philosophy is encapsulated very well, if you think about it, with these trap encounters, right? Every single fight you engage, you don't know if there's something around the corner trying to fuck you up. And again, that makes all of these battles are fight for life, right? Even against these smaller enemies, and it makes the whole game so much more horrific and intense. So is a level designer have anything to do about the choice of the place, or just how it is? No, it depends. It depends. Like, if the story calls for a specific space, that is, of course, often then something the quest designers or whatever, or the narrative designers or writers might call for. But sometimes it's just like this. The outline that you get might just say, "Hey, hang on, I need to kill these guys. Hey, we need like a place where we can put these kind of clues. Narratively, we need, I don't know, a temple maybe, or like a place of worship where these guys are worshipping the old gods, right? And then as a designer, I might come up with like, how about maybe a temple? Maybe a bit boring. Let's have a university in the forest, you know, and the forest is scary and all that. So it can be, you know, like a dynamic process, and it really depends on the type of content. It's the same for us at CD Projekt, where basically there's locations that are sort of predetermined by the quest, by the narrative, and other times it's more like, hey, we need a place where we could have this kind of thing, we want to tell this kind of story. What do you think would work? And I go, maybe we should have an abandoned meat factory. Because it would be cool to show how synthetic meat is made in this game, but also kind of showcase the, you know, the rise and fall of corporations, gangs, interactions between corporals and gangs, blah, 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 right? This is cool, by the way. If I, like the solution to this, and again, it actually plays well with the whole Bloodborne combat being a bit more aggressive, right, is actually to charge this one. Because if I don't charge it, it will charge me, and the fight will be a bit more difficult in this narrow corridor here, right? But if I actually move forward, I have the opportunity to fight this guy, this huge pig, in a slightly more open area. And I think this is actually a great moment to end. See, like here I have, because I'm gonna, oh wow, I didn't. How did I miss this? Alright, I'm not gonna, because I missed his butthole. How could I, you wonder? You learned so much from this clip. I don't know what clip that was. The legend of the plunging attack. Oh god, okay. So it's a level, yeah, according to my junior knowledge, it's ladder. So again, yeah, it can be both. It depends also on the team and the project and how you sort of, you know, divide the kind of work, of course. Like, do you decide it's going to be a sewers level or it's not your fault? Again, let's talk about Oxenford then. Oh my god. Fun fact, Oxenford wasn't always Oxenford. Which I guess explains a bit to you why, you know, the Oxenford in Witcher 3 probably isn't as big as you may have imagined Oxenford to be if you have read the books. Trying to find, there was a passage here. Ah, right, here. Okay. I just want to unlock the shortcut and then oh, let's do one last poster checks. Thank you, Sunquat. Ooh, he's almost dead. Yeah, that university. But we tried to redeem it a bit, and because we were aware of it, right? So we tried to redeem it a bit in the first expansion, Hearts of Stone. So this is the boss route that continues to the first, like, official first boss. This is actually looping us back. He looks a bit like the first boss. Right, this was the mean trap he would have suffered from this direction. Okay. Alright, shortcut time. So usually when I would get to this room at the top, I would not be able to use the elevator to come down. Actually, the way you activate these shortcuts is by first stepping into them. So, but now basically I am unlocking. Ooh, I'm very filthy. Now I'm actually unlocking the shortcut. You know, and in the future I'll be able to use it going down and call the device when it's coming up. Okay. So I'm getting to the section where these two jokers are standing around. Ooh. Let's not do that again. Could you please jump at me? Oh, this is very unfortunate. This is really bad. Ooh, this is... Okay, so that's that. Alright, you know what? Let's do the corpse run and start the Q&A. I'm just trying to get back. Fuck me. That was me being stupid. You know, instead of going forward where the arena is much bigger, I let myself be pushed into a much smaller space. And again, that was me being cocky. And as soon as you do that, you lose in these games. They have a habit of punishing players who think they're better than they are. We don't have the short. Oh, we do have the shortcut unlocked. So I'm gonna actually use my knowledge of this space. See, this is how it loops from the original lantern, and this will allow me a much faster run to the boss, you know, once I've... So now I can go from here straight to the lantern, which is cool. I just... What the fuck am I even doing here? Let's not repeat the same mistake again. Oh my god, no! This is really bad, isn't it? Come on. Come on. Come on. Yeah. Alright, this is how I should have gone. Still got it. I still got it in me. Also, by the way, you know, and speaking of landmarks, the bridge, of course, also takes up that role, right? Okay. We did it. We did it. Alright, we're going to the hunter stream. I'll invest my points. And yeah, we'll go into Q&A mode. How about that? I think since I started a bit late, we'll do a couple minutes extra. As always, you know me, I can't stop on time. I work at CD Projekt after all. Yeah, just more strength, more strength. Just make me more deadly. That is all I want. Don't tell anyone I did that joke. So how's the soul hunting? Harok, welcome, welcome. It's going great, but we're at the end of our journey today. And the good thing is, since I'm in the hunter stream, I feel it's the perfect music to accompany our Q&A session. Ooh, the hair. Last sips of coffee. How have you liked today's stream so far? Did you find, you know, Bloodborne interesting? Did you prefer Dark Souls? I'm curious, you know, this is a little bit of, this is like a two-way road, right? It's a, you know, we interact. Like I try to accommodate you, you try to accommodate me by making fun of my shitty way of playing. This is symbiosis. Please watch this video. Right now? No. No. Or should I? Oh, God, alright. Okay, because it's you. Which one is it? Wait. Why wearing a cone-shaped metal hat is a bad idea? Alright, I'll watch it after this. Oh, God, alright. Okay. This only this once. I'm not sure. How do I best do this? Problem is, I need to switch this monitor to okay, let's check it out then. This is all going off of your Q&A time. I hope you're aware of this, right? I don't know how to display this to you guys. So I'll just watch it, you know, everyone watch it. I need to figure out like a technical way of displaying this. Okay, we're walking down the ladder. I remember this clip. It's edited, but it's awesome. Yeah, an oldie but a goldie. I remember it. Yes, the sub icons are now Toast and Sarasi. You know, if that blows your mind, it might blow your mind even more to find out that the longer you're subscribed, the more toasted the bread becomes. I know, I know, I know. Ladies, contain your orgasms. It's insane. This actually is. So, yeah. All of you. Oh, God. No. Oh, I'm being cancelled now. Lord of Rivia. I thought it was edited. Is it not? Yeah, so I'm trying Prey and Black Mesa lately. Join late. LOL 3K. Prey is very high on our list of things that we will play. I just didn't want to do another Arkham game so quickly after we've done, you know, like Dishonored. So eventually we'll get to Prey for sure, which I haven't played at all. So it will be, you know, more authentic experience. And I will expect me to freak out a lot because I know it has creepy moments. Chow the Cosmic Egg. The Cosmic Egg. I love it. Makes the best omelets. The Cosmic Omelet is a delicacy where I'm coming from. Which is space, clearly. It's so smart from dev if it's not edited. This is fantastic. Wait, what? I missed that. I start watching F1 after Roseberg retired. Oh, I'm not a big F1. I'm not too into that kind of sports. Esports is where I'm at. Prey has a lot of backtracking, unlocking, preparing traps, etc. Yeah, it's I want to check it out specifically for that because I find it's a very interesting and very different design to what I'm kind of used to. Yeah, you know, backtracking has a bad rep, and I think there's has a bad rep in game development, especially amongst people who, you know, are maybe not so in game dev because they hear, oh, okay, it's supposed to be a bad thing, so it must be bad, but really it's very nuanced, right? And there's ways to get backtracking right, and there's ways to do it wrong. And I think knowing this and learning this difference is important for any designer. And I think Prey might be an example for a game that showcases that, hey, you know, it can work if you know what you're doing. Animation is there, probably sound is there too, but sound is changed in the edit. Miles, yeah, the sound is what I'm referring to as edit. My favorite level ever is the mansion in Resident Evil remake. Have you ever played it? I have not played, I've played the original a bit, but I couldn't really tolerate it because I am easily scared. I have heard great things about the Resident Evil remake though. I suppose I should check that out then. Maybe I'll just watch a let's play of it. Actually, I remember, this is not an invitation to do it right now, but I remember that one of the first things, since this is our 10th episode, so it's a bit of it's a good moment to actually bring this up. And one thing that I always sort of considered to do at some point, if there was interest in this, for this channel, before I started out, was why not, if there is participation, I don't need to be the only one who does recording. Speaking of which, I should stop the recording. Meaning that I would like to look into a way for people to upload recordings of authentic. That's the sort of requirement, right? It needs to be ideally something you haven't played yet. So it's like a fresh experience, your first try ever playing something. And I would like to do at least a segment or explore the ability of you guys sending me these or making these recordings available to me, and then us doing live analysis on trying to figure out not just why I moved a certain way, but how or why you moved a certain way, which will again give a bit more of an authentic feel because you will probably play this less from a game developer's point of view than I do, right? So we can more accurately sort of gauge what the you know, how players might behave in a certain situation in the game. If this is something that interests you, I would be happy to explore that as well. Maybe we should just do it once and then see how it goes. So in the case of these kind of horror games, that might be a good compromise for me to, you know, check them out, probably still be sufficiently scared, while at the same time actually being able to present them here. Let me know what you think about that. Halloween stream special incoming. Miles playing horror games for us. Maybe we'll make it a community challenge. We'll make it a community challenge to unlock that. The weird Spark, you were mentioning dinner without saying what there was, what you had. I'm very happy that you enjoyed it though. Okay. Wait. I think it's when a game quest for what? I don't mind backtracking as long as it's not like an MMO. Yeah, I think it's when a game quest forces you to come back somewhere you have been already. Like, go in this room with a chest you have to unlock, then go into another room to get the key and forced to come back all the way to the chest to open it. Yeah, you know, that, I tend to agree. And that's what I mean with, you know, like, there's ways to make this good, right? What if, for example, you come back into that same room to open the chest, but now things have changed. There's maybe a new enemy in there. Like the space has shifted. Maybe there's a new obstacle that you need to bypass to get to this chest, right? That's how backtracking can be made in a fun way, right? If you put a little bit, you need to put a little bit more effort into it, and then it can be cool. And then actually it will become especially cool because you know this place, right? You feel like you do. And then you can notice the change in it much easily. It makes the world feel a bit more alive, right? And more believable. And so in that case, the backtracking actually contributes to the experience. Could you maybe answer my question earlier? Spark, I did answer it earlier. You said you were lurking, but you didn't. Outsider, oh my god, you gifted another sub. Thank you so much. Oh, I don't know how to react. This is so cool. You're being so generous. Thank you. Oh wow, this is fucking awesome. Man, now you, Lord of Rivia, get to use those emojis as well, which makes me really happy. I'm proud toaster now. No! Spark. Okay, just for you. I'll reply to the question again. The question is if these enemies that they're using to lure, that they place so they can act as a lure to players, right? Whether they usually come in during the design process, or maybe because Q&As go, hey, this doesn't work and blah blah blah, right? Oh, Toasty Mush, thank you for the raid. Welcome back. Thank you so much. Guess what? I'm back. I'm being raided by our namesake. Oh, there's so much bread here. Hello, my loafers. Anyway, Spark. So the reply to your question is then, I think it's both, really. Like the game's design might be very much that the designer goes, hey, you know, I'll place an enemy here and he will attack the player when he's not looking, but that will make the player look into this direction so they can find the hidden passage, right? But it might also very well be that the you have a situation where, you know, they can't get it right. Like, hey, this passage, players keep missing it. How do we fix that, right? And then maybe they use one of these enemies, place it, script it so it attacks the player at a certain moment, right? Because some enemies in Bloodborne are a bit more proactive. You get somewhat close, they already start noticing you and attacking you, right? And that way they have fixed an issue that might have been present in their game design, right? And I also mentioned when I initially answered the question, because your questions are so awesome, I answered them twice just for you, is that I totally there must have been a situation where they may have even had one of these guys somewhere and they ended up removing it, right? Because maybe it was already obvious enough, or maybe it wasn't, so you know, it became more clear that way. And it wasn't necessary anymore. So much gluten in here. Yes, but you know, we have bread for everyone. There's probably also some of the slices of toast, I don't know which ones, that's the problem, the tiny problem, they are gluten-free. Don't ask me which ones though. I'm not red as far as I know. I'm sorry, I was lurking. Man, again, I can only repeat what I said earlier, right? If you want to see a very entertaining stream that is doing something a bit differently, right? If you've ever wondered how it would be to watch a literal slice of bread play video games, check out Toasty Mush's stream. It's hilarious, it's endearing, and it's fun to watch. Oh, very wholesome. I'm sorry I was lurking the stream, but I had it muted because... No, Spark. All good. Awesome. Don't be so apologetic. It's all fine. It's all fine. I really appreciate you. What do you think of the easy way of indicating the way in modern game in natural environment? You know, like white paint on some. I think it's fine. You know, like it can be taken to an extreme, but you know, it's so basically Lord of Rivia. I don't know who Lord of Rivia. Could that be? You know, I think it's something to easily get upset about because it feels like such an easy cop out to use decals like white stripes or yellow as a signal color to signpost areas you can climb, areas you need to go to, devices you can use, right? We do it, The Last of Us does it a lot, right? And Tomb Raider, many other games utilize these kind of highlighting techniques in the form of colors, right? And again, they're easy to hate on, but I think actually to the vast majority of players who are not upset about it, right? It actually is really helpful because it's a really subtle yet distinct and assertive way of allowing the player to navigate the space and making and communicating with them as a designer, right? Because I don't want to tell you climb up here by putting a text note or something or having a text pop-up come up. But I want to still communicate with you, you know, on a language that feels like we can both agree where on that will not take you out of the game so much. And you know, in all fairness, while in games it is being taken to a bit of an extreme, that is also because we don't want you to get lost like you might easily get lost in real life, right? In comparison to video games, all right? We want you to be heroes. We want you to be awesome. We don't want you to spend 10 hours figuring out which of these 10 ledges is actually the one that we intend you to climb on, right? So I think it's a nice way to communicate. And again, in real life, we use markings and signage too, right? Especially in buildings, it's a very common thing to use them. For example, in places of where it's really needed, right? You have things like in hospitals. This is a shot I like to bring up, and we will go to this, right? You can see this here, right? These are from different kinds of interiors, right? These guiding lines that you can literally follow, they will bring you to specific sections in the world, in the hospital, right? It's important for people to orient themselves. We have this kind of stuff, right? These are real life design problems that interior designers and architects are tackling and trying to actually solve. So I think it's okay to have them in games as well. And if you know, things like these markings, okay, this is of course like an illusion, like a trick, but you know, stuff like this here on the lights up there, right? In parking lots. You know, like if you have the stripes on a parking lot ground, it explains you where you can park, right? This is the parking spot. This isn't a parking spot and all that stuff. This is a common language we sort of have agreed on, and it's very similar way of sort of how we're doing it in real life, you know, in the game. Sorry, I'm trying to find more examples, but there's a lot of NHS stuff here. But you get my thought, right? Things like this, right? And of course, in a game world, right? Most games are not about parking, but we still try to utilize the same techniques. So Naughty Dog will, for example, use like the tape, right? The yellow sort of barrier tape and it moving or hanging from stuff to have the same effect. But effectively, it works the same way than this kind of stuff. Okay. So where are we at? I made it. Am I too late? Janitor, we're almost at the end of this, but I recommend you to check out the VOD that will be available after this stream. Also, you did not miss Bloodborne fully because we as a collective here have decided that next week we will do another stream of Bloodborne. Wednesday, 8 p.m. CEST, you know the time. And we will continue where I left off, and we'll have lots of great, awesome design talk to have there. Wait. Sorry for exploring is a necessary aspect. I'm scrolling up a bit to catch some of your questions. And I think now these will be the last questions I'll answer before I will shut this down. We're like already 15 minutes over, guys. Yeah. So again, you know, Lord of Rivia, in order to answer to the discrete part, the reality that I've learned in my years as a designer is that discrete is very quickly missed in games, right? So it's almost impossible to make things too obvious in games, but it's very, very easy to make things not obvious enough that need to be seen by the player, right? And by not having this, you can easily create a worse experience, and then you have to weigh the level of you know, sort of weigh the problems against each other. Is it a worse problem that maybe this feels slightly gamey, that we have like a slightly more obvious marking, or is it worse that the player misses a section and then cannot figure the way out, and frustration builds from that point of view, right? Yeah, these are the kind of thoughts that you need to have when you design stuff. Sorry for repos. Exploring is a necessary aspect in games as a level design. What do you focus more on? The journey or the reward at the end? Both. Both. Like the journey should feel rewarding, but the reward doesn't feel rewarding if the journey didn't make you fight for it. That's my concise answer for it. And I hope that makes sense to you. I sometimes really feel like the game thinks I'm dumb as fuck. Yeah, no, the games don't think that. We're not trying to make fun of you. We're trying to make you enjoy the experience. But I know what you mean. You know, some games, you know, take it a bit far. But then you always have to think, is it the kind of game that, you know, wants that it's necessary to be more difficult in that regard? I would argue, for example, like an Uncharted game or so. They're not meant to be like super difficult, challenging, you know, puzzles or whatever, but they're there to take you on a ride, right? And enjoy that ride. So, yeah, it's a question of what you, the developers want this game to be and to stand for, right? Are you married to burn the bread by any chance? No, I'm not. I'm not. Missed. For the enthusiast gamer, it's more fun to figure things out yourself, but the average gamer will get confused and stop playing, so I can't... Yeah, Dragon G, that's correct. I actually... You know, it's just more resource intensive and more difficult to do, but the reality is that it might be value to sort of like Assassin's Creed Valhalla did it, right? To have options for the player to turn this on and off, right? But it's of course then more resources that you need to spend and to make this happen and to balance things properly. Something trail. What was it? Breadcrumb? Oh, yeah, you breadcrumb if you use elements to get the player to move from one spot to another, right? Kind of like a trail of breadcrumbs that the player can follow. Signposting would be a word you can use to refer to highlighting something or showcasing something. The techniques you use to highlight an area. Yeah. It was... I meant... good point, good point. My favorite game was... way a game used this was in God of War. Yeah, the markings on the rocks were maybe the mother... made by the mother, if I'm correct. Yes! Yes, that's a nice in-lore little addition to it, right? But it feels more like an excuse, right? You're sort of like, hey, we have these markings. Let's come up with a reason in-world and make it feel a bit more ingrained, right? But it's always nice to think of these extras and, you know, add another layer of narrative in this. So I got that. So 10k steps of work today. Fucking awesome. To make, I need to rush through this a bit. What do you think about Super Mario 64? It was such a big mouse. You know what? Since I have a capture card now, this might be a game we'll pick up soon, or at some point. Probably we'll start with like the more contemporary Mario games, But now Mario, Zelda, all of it is a possibility. Hazelnuts, hello, welcome, welcome. How was your stream today? I saw you were playing a Beat Saber. Urban Serenade. Oh, hey, welcome. Are you just have you just tuned in, or have you been lurking the entire time? If not, I recommend to check out the VOD. We're just about to finish for today. Been already going for a little more than 3 hours. Man, so many awesome people here. I can't get over it. It's so cool to see all of you. Thank you so much for dropping by on such a regular basis, or on all of you new people. I welcome you, and I really appreciate you dropping by. Okay. Yes, the Metal Gear Solid 2 tanker level to the Excel sheet. And with that, it went on it. I was a bit sick and at work. It was not such a good idea, but very fun aside from that. Well, you know, gotta... What doesn't kill you? I'm doing great. I'm doing fantastic. I'm having a great time. We were playing Bloodborne today. I feel like I redeemed myself as a capable video gamer after the disaster that was my Dark Souls 3 stream last week, where I really did show off the best gaming side of mine. I feel today I more than made up for it, and I hope you guys agree on it. So yeah, that was pretty good. Yeah, I think you did great as well last time. Thank you. Well, we did kill the Borealis Valley dude whose name I always keep forgetting. All right. Okay, so let me slowly bring this to a close. I'll do one plug for Hazelnuts, right? In case some of you I know are checking out both of our streams and are originally from her community. I really appreciate you coming over and joining me here. For those of you who don't know Hazelnuts, Hazelnuts is a streamer who streams mostly VR games, mostly Beat Saber, is insanely good at it. The reaction speeds that you would need for that kind of skill that you're showcasing is probably something that, I don't know, deserves an Olympic medal. Just sadly, we're at the time where Olympics are not necessarily a good idea to take place. But hey, you know, that doesn't stop anyone. And in case you ever wanted to see someone play Dark Souls on a much higher level than myself, I keep referring to the example of you, Hazelnuts, defeating the first boss in Dark Souls 3 with a dance mat. Something that I can't even fathom how I would even get to the first boss doing that. Very impressive. If that's something that sounds exciting to you, please do check out Hazelnut's streams. She also streams much more regularly than I do, so there's lots more fun to be had over there. All right. Yeah, so thank you, everyone. I hope you had a good time. I had a blast, as always. This was an amazing 10th stream. Guys, it was number 10. One of my favorite games, Bloodborne, today. So what is there not to like? This was just a combination that was bound to be awesome, at least to me. I hope you had a great time. I hope you will tune in again next week, Wednesday, 8 p.m. CEST, where as part of our democratic process of what we will stream next week, we have decided to continue our Bloodborne playthrough, where we will take a look also at the recording that we've done today, just briefly to go over some highlights there. And until then, I hope you have the most fantastic week, the most fantastic weekend. You guys stay safe, healthy, and I love you guys. Thank you so much. I can't say enough how much I appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Take care. Miles out. And as always, which is the button? It's this one.